Welcome to episode 53 of the Groupchat Wrestling Podcast. It is WrestleMania week for pro wrestling fans. We will be unapologetically tribal, brazenly biased, full of fucks and cunts. Ladies and gentlemen, this will be your best AEW All In 2025 preview. Guys, welcome.
Happy to be here, man. But can I just say before we start, I think it's disgraceful that AEW are running a show against like 3 Fed shows. I mean, who the fuck do they think they are, man?
They're fucking
Who the
selfish.
fuck do they think they are?
Yeah. Can I say I think it's disgraceful? I'm the only one who was honoured the Outrunners with my 80s garb.
Well, come on, I'm full Outrunner merched up. I have one question before we move on. Are we press record?
Yes, the red light is on. It's on.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Although I will say I've just attempted to blow a cute 80s bubble, but this chewing gum is 8 months out of date and it's just disintegrated, so I'm going to take it.
Choose Margaret.
I'm greasy as hell. My lips, I'm wearing 3 different kinds of lip gloss. I'm like I've had a chippy tea. I hope the Outrunners appreciate the tribute that I'm paying to them today. Back home to hell.
It's not Pepsi.
So yeah. It's not.
Thank God.
So
It's
yeah,
Aldi, I think.
the men's casino. What do we think?
Well,
Surprises
this could go anywhere,
galore.
couldn't it? This could go anywhere. I'm going to let everyone else go first because I'm going to let everyone else go first.
I'm sure we all
I'm
have
not
our
expecting that much.
theories.
I'm not like, we know a few people. I'm not expecting much. Just returns for Eddie Kingston, Orange Cassidy, maybe Jack Perry, potentially Bryan Danielson, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 debuts. But apart from that, yeah, low expectations.
Yeah, same bare minimum.
Serpentico.
Win, I think that'll start the show off right.
Listen, I don't know who you guys are picking for return or winner, but I'll give you the return right now, and I'll give you the winner right now because it's the same person, Mr. Jay White,
Chris Jericho,
Switchblade.
baby, good one,
my
Brett.
God.
Fucking on the same page. Let's go.
Same page.
And push
indeed.
you.
Hearing Judas in that arena is going to be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
It is.
I'm
But
Team
sorry.
Brett, I'm afraid. I'm Team Jay.
Sorry,
Oh, no,
Brett.
don't-
Jay
don't-
White. I think we all agree with you. But go on.
Oh no, yeah, no, don't get me wrong. Like hearing Judas is gonna be fucking awesome. It'll be great. And, you could lie about how you don't want Chris Jericho on the card. You're fucking lying. Once that first like guitar riff hits, like the whole stadium is gonna go fucking crazy. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be mad at Jericho making a comment. But yeah, Jay White. I think it's time for him. Last time we heard he was just about ready to return. I think he returns, and I think he wins the Casino Gauntlet.
Do you know the way like Mock the Week and shows like that usually give like shit, stupid, over the top answers and then give the real one at the end? Brett's just done a reverse of that and give us the one that probably
Give us the one that makes the most sense. Well,
and the most logical one.
I mean, there is an argument to be made that MJF could actually win it, but I don't
I
think
still
he
think MJF's
will.
winning.
I think Mystico's in there for a reason. I think they're just
it feels like they're going down that route. Even though the thing is, MJF or Jay White could make a very logical first opponent for the winner of the main event, which we have our theories. Stay with us because we're going to get to that at the end. But I think, yes, MJF makes a logical winner, but so does Jay White. And assuming he's healthy and he's ready to go, fuck me. Hearing Jay White winning the Casino Gauntlet gets a 5 stars from me. But equally, another one who I would like to see win it is Takeshita. I think he's going to be in it. I know he and Bandido are having the Ring of Honor title match the night before at Supercard. I think both of them will be in this match. Personally, I think they'll continue that, and then they'll probably have a couple of like they'll revisit it and stuff like that. I would love Takeshita to win it. If I was feeling a bit more brave, I'd predict him, but my heart says Jay White.
Can I say,
going off to do the G1 as well.
Yeah.
Well, but I think holding on to that future title match when he comes back as the G1 winner, Forbidden Door, man, Forbidden Door. But yeah, again, I don't know. I don't want. Yeah, it's an idea, but
There's one person I don't want to win it because it would ruin the rest of the show for me.
Is it Darby Allin?
It's Darby Allin.
He's not returning here. I don't think he's returning here.
I would ignore the quality of every match between that and the main event, thinking he's going to fuck the landing. He's going to fuck the landing up, and he's going to have Swerve fucking turn on Hangman, and then Darby Allin's going to cash in and win the title. And that's not a happy ending. That is shit.
As long as it's not a cash-in. The real winner is AEW fans if it's not a cash-in. if it's a cash-in, I don't give a fuck who wins. Cause it's just
Yeah, well, for
shite.
both matches, it should be. It says a world title match for men's and women's world titles. It should be a
Does it
defined date. Yeah. It doesn't say a future one. It doesn't say a contract.
okay.
Not to my knowledge, anyway. But it says a world title match. However, I want them to really learn from what went wrong with Christian's sort of run with it, because it was like a wet fart when it was executed. But I just hope that they actually give the winners a defined date where they can pick and choose the match, but it can't be like a cash in like it was before.
When we were talking about the cash-ins of shite on the show from the last episode, someone made a comment there, because I fucking hate cash-ins, and someone made a comment saying that they, maybe they had a plan and it was involving Cope, and I think that probably does make sense, but then Cope got injured and then Christian just walked around with that fucking contract for fucking 9 months.
He got injured before the contract. He got injured before he won the contract.
Maybe they thought he'd be back quicker then, if that was the case, but I mean there must have been a plan in place, because that cannot have been the plan to get Christian and finish it the way they, because it was just a fucking joke. It ruined the whole angle for me.
Well, that's why if it's the cash-in and MJF wins it, then it's going to be a carbon copy of what... Well, because they're both very similar kind of characters in that sense. I think it's just going to be a carbon copy. MJF's just going to threaten to cash it in, then he's not, and then they're going to dangle the carrot in front of you, and then they're going to move it away. So I just hope it's not a cash-in, same as you, man, because I can't stand them. So
I think as long as it's not a cash-in, I don't care. But for me, I think that the surprise return is going to be Chris Jericho. Probably not as much of a surprise as you would think. We'll get Judas played, everyone will go wild, and then he'll probably get eliminated by Big Bill or someone.
Well, it's a single pinfall. I don't think you can get eliminated.
Yeah.
No, I mean taken to the side.
Yeah.
I mean moved out of the
Eliminated
action
from
kind
contention.
Of thing. Yeah. Because I think there'll be a few like that. That's what I think is going to happen with Mystico and MJF. I think they're going to be brawling and eyes off, and someone's going to get a win while everyone else's attention's taken. Whether that's
not
Jay
Darby
Wise
Allin.
or...
I
think
he might return.
I think Mike, we'll talk about that later, but I think like I said with Mystico, there's a reason why he's in this match. Well, two reasons. I mean, obviously, it was smart, they announced it on Saturday, because instantly you're moving tickets with him on the card. I mean, it being in Dallas right there. But also, like I said, you have him and MJF. They've gone at it for a couple of months now on CMLL, on AEW television. That's two promotions. I think they're going to do a third. I think Mystico will cost MJF the match, and I think we get the resolution at Forbidden Door. Hopefully a stipulation match would be awesome. Maybe mask versus hair, which would be fucking wild for MJF. When you think about it, we all know he went and had the surgery done. It's kind of obvious.
Did he?
I mean, I think so. I mean, listen, he had the Vegeta hairline almost, and then he doesn't have it anymore.
Doesn't grow back on it. So
no, but it would be so fucking wild if he were to agree to that stipulation after doing that. That just shows you how much love for the game that he truly does have. To do that. But I think that it would conclude at Forbidden Door.
It's a good shout. If not there, then the CMLL and
big ass show.
Yeah,
in
September,
September,
anniversary
anniversary 92 in September.
I think maybe we get one at Forbidden Door, and then the big blow off is going to be because Mystico has to get asked to take the win from this feud. He has to now.
Yeah.
And if this is the case, maybe they brawl. MJF gets a win at Forbidden Door, or it's a bit maybe a DQ, and then Mystico gets
it's the 2 out of 3 falls. Mask versus hair or something like that. Because I just can't see how Mystico's going to get unmasked. He's the biggest star that they have.
No chance.
It would. Yeah, I just cannot see. So MJF has to lose the feud, however it culminates. But to me it makes sense. Mystico gets the win in his hometown. And maybe it's just me, maybe I'm just being naive here, but in Forbidden Door in the O2, I'm not sure how many of the UK faithful are going to be invested in a mask versus hair match versus between MJF and then Mystico. And no offense to Mystico, but the UK fans haven't really seen him that much. A lot of the I don't want to use the word casuals, but it probably wouldn't have the same intended effect if the blow off match happened in the O2.
Probably.
Yeah,
I think Mexico's probably the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like the American fans wouldn't react the same if, say, Michael Oku rocked up.
Exactly, yeah. That's why I don't think Oku's turning up in the Gauntlet. I think Oku's dropping the Rev Pro title, before Forbidden Door, then he's turning up then. But another issue for another day. Let's crack on.
Very quickly, if we can have one ideal debut or return, who have you all got? Start with you, Andy.
A debut and a return, or a debut or return?
Or one or the other.
Chris Jericho return, debut. God, fucking hell, who's available? I don't even know who's
no, just one or the other. It doesn't have to be one or the other.
Jericho, just because, it's Jericho.
What, bro?
I know I said Jay White already, but you know what? Just for a long way to return, Keith Lee.
Yeah, it's a good
it's a good shout.
Keith Lee, yeah.
That'd be a good pop.
I've got a theory about Keith Lee, but stay tuned. But because it's for afterwards. But I don't think he's returning here. But no, for me, I'm trying to think who hasn't been said, who's available. I mean,
don't steal mine.
Come back to me. I might.
Lucy.
Jack Perry.
Eddie Kingston would be great, but I don't know if he's fit. If he comes back, that'll be amazing. If not, I'm going to stick with Lucy. I'm going to say I would look forward to seeing Jack Perry. No, fuck it, Cassidy. Orange Cassidy. It's been a while. Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, the thing is, I just don't think he's fit. I think he tore like a pretty significant muscle, and he's not going to be. Exactly. Yeah.
When did he do it? When did he tear his?
Must be a while away now. Was it January or something? I mean, I don't know how long a recovery that is, but
it was
if
early
it's been 7
this
months. 7 months is a fair return. Cody was back within 7 months.
Yeah,
that's true. I mean,
what about winners then? Who do we think? What's our winner? And we'll go around again.
I'm going to stick just because I just want to see the MJF and Hangman feud. I don't think it's probably going to be Jay White, but I'm going to stick with MJF. I want MJF to win it. So yeah.
No, I think it's Jay White, but I'd like it to be David Arquette.
For a return here, I mean, it's already been said. Everyone's already taken the ones that. Do you know what? Just to piss off people, I'm going to go Wardlow so he can fucking square up with MJF. Just to piss everyone off.
I'd pop at Wardlow.
Actually, that's a good shout because he's ready to go. He's fit, isn't he? I mean,
I think American Gladiators is finished.
They finished filming it. Yeah. So that's a good shout, that man.
I'm going with Wardlow return, but Jay White win.
Wardlow could return and go after a lot of people because there's a lot of stuff they could go. He could go after the undisputed, the Paragon. He could go after MJF. He could, that's a good one. Okay. He could go after Hobbs. Depending on how they, if Hobbs is in there, like obviously. But yeah, no, that's a good shout there.
Can I change mine then as well? Since somebody else said Jack Perry, can I have Luchasaurus, please? Because I just want him back as well.
I would like that to be the case, but again, I think stay tuned because I've got a theory about Luchasaurus. But yeah.
On to the women's.
Yes.
Don't know why I did that. Don't know what that meant. But on to the women's.
It worked out quite well because
I'm just going to go mad with the arms all through the show now.
So when you did that,
who do we think is going to win the women's Casino Gauntlet then?
It's funny when you did that. It showed me the running order of the card that I've got on my screen.
Yeah, so you're pointing at the running order.
It's very good.
Down the south.
I haven't got a fucking clue.
Yeah, this is a hard
How good
one
is
to
that
predict.
though? How fuck? So I actually can't stop using my hands now. I'm like Ricky Bobby and Talladega Nights. My hands going to keep coming up. Yeah, I don't know who's going to win, and that's fucking great. That's so good.
It is.
I'm going to stay. I'm going to go with Athena though because I just feel that I want it to be Athena, so I'm going to stay Athena.
So yeah,
I want it to be Jamie Hayter, so I will say Jamie Hayter.
I want it to be Chris Statlander personally because I saw her at Pro Wrestling Eve and she was phenomenal, and I think she might now be my favorite wrestler in the world. So I'm going to go with... It probably won't be, but I'm going to go with Statlander just because I like what she's doing at the moment. New Eve International Champion.
Yeah. I want it to be Willow Nightingale.
I wish I said that now.
Yeah,
it's mad that we all have different choices, though. That's how deep this is.
They're all possible.
That's good.
But can I also request the debut of Alex Windsor?
I'm sure that's happening
fucking wrestler.
After the promo
I think
the
that's
other
happening
night,
because she's had 2 promos now. I think that's happening.
I think that's a given. I think she's definitely debuting at.
I don't think she wins it, but I think she debuts. No. I think she debuts and gets into some issues with somebody that will probably develop into a feud.
Mm-hmm. I want her to fight Tekla.
Yeah.
Just because I think it would be cool.
I think that's probably going to be Hater, isn't it, when she comes back?
Yeah,
from
Yeah,
the way they finished off.
Hater could, if
Dynamite.
Tekla's in the match, Hater returns here if she's okay and goes after Tekla, and that's your match for All Out right there.
That's the thing, though. There's so many that could win this. Like, realistically, that's why it's such a good match. This, like, there is. I mean, like, depending on what they do with women's tags, if they don't do anything before then, Megan Bain really should have a fucking good shot to win this.
That's it.
There's loads. There is, and that's without whatever surprises we think of. I mean, Britt Baker may return. Like, I would like it to. I think Mark's idea of all former champions having a showing in this would be brilliant. That would be excellent to do that, because the women's division's been underused for far too long. So to show a bit of respect to those who've had the belt in the past would be excellent.
I'm interested to see. Oh, sorry, mate.
No, go on. Go on.
No, you go.
No, I was just going to say, and I would like them to maybe throw a random legend in there. I know it's something the Fed do, whatever, but you get a cheap pop and
Wendy Richter.
Wendy
Richter.
Richter.
Fucking Duck and Tony Storm, Wendy Richter.
I was thinking more because I don't know if she has signed or not.
She's from Texas.
When she was let go, but I was thinking more Gail Kim, because she can still go if she wants to, and I really hope they have got her involved with the women's division, because it needs something to push and help them.
She was invaluable with the knockout.
Yeah,
64 would be a. But she's
think
again a local girl.
Gail Kim could do it. She's only 40 odd or something.
NXT.
Wait, what?
Has she gone?
She's been working. She's been back there, ain't she?
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, fuck, man. Oh, well, that's out the window then. I hope she doesn't turn up.
Yeah.
She's shite.
Yeah.
Brett, who are you?
We suddenly hate her now.
But what I would say is, I think that the men's is like, we've seen it enough times. The women's one, they didn't do them justice first time round. It was 30 minutes. It was lip service, no more. There's a chance for them to really remedy that today on Saturday.
Give
because
them 25 minutes.
Give them this. This should be better than the All-Star women's matches have helped to build up a decent little narrative here. There's a lot of little things intertwining, like Tekla and Aminata stuff has been really good. We can see sprinkles for the tag divisions here. There'll be the Willow and Statlander stuff that will come across in it. There's potentially going to be like a return or a surprise. Like, this is something they really need to nail, because again,
agreed.
we've only got this in the world title match. It's really important. This is probably given a bit more editorial than the men's is, because there's a lot of things that can come out of this, and I think it's really fucking important they nail this one.
Brett,
All right,
we
Brett,
haven't had yours
we haven't
yet.
heard your prediction. Sorry.
So Andy brought up Jericho, like, for returning for the men, like, the pop that Judas would get. I look at the women's version of that. In my opinion, I hope she does come out. It's been a while. I mean, for obvious reasons. She's been on maternity leave. I hope we get Ruby Soho return.
That's a good shout.
Because listen, if you guys haven't heard Rancid in person, like, it's great. It is amazing fun, and I like her. I think she's good for the division. I think she can add to the division. But as you said, like, winner, like, I'm just shuffling in my head.
It's
like,
hard,
I think the key to remember is that I think they said for the women's world title, so not TBS. So I think I'm gonna go Jamie Hayter, which is going to factor into my winner for the women's title later on, because the next pay-per-view is Forbidden Door right there O2 Arena in London. If Jamie's the winner and the women's title hasn't happened yet at that point, I think that should be, in my opinion, that should ring some alarms what direction that they're going to, because like I said, I mean, those two, Jamie Hayter and Toni Storm, that would be the third match that they would have.
Yeah.
It'll be the rubber match, right?
Correct.
I mean, it's kind of crazy to think, like, we'll maybe talk about it later. Like, there's multiple, like, second or third matches you could run at Forbidden Door, and they would all be, like, not just thrown together for fuck's sake. Like, there's reasons behind them. I think, I'm going Jamie Hayter to return and to win the Women's Gauntlet match.
That's a good shout.
Yeah.
I knew you had good taste, bro.
Yeah, I think I do. But like I said, it's knowing that Forbidden Door is next month, and like I said, I know we don't like obvious matches, but it's okay when the obvious match makes all the sense of the world, and the time and the place is appropriate.
Only if you're having Jamie win it at Forbidden Door. You don't have her walk in there and lose.
I think she wins. I think she beats Toni.
So you think she takes the title off Toni?
Yeah,
or Mercedes, or whoever wins the...
I would fucking love that, and even if it's a short reign, just because, like, let's face it, she shouldn't have lost that title when she did. It was injury, missed out on a Wembley moment. even if it's just a reign of like 2 or 3 months, and then she loses it to whoever else, Megan Bayne, Athena, whoever else is around at that time. Toni takes it back again. Although I'm sure people will whinge about them being like a 5-time champion or whatever. But still, it's whatever makes sense at the time.
You could have Jamie Hayter win it at Forbidden Door. Then you know what you could set up for All Out. Tekla comes back after, and Jamie's trying to get revenge on Tekla. You could set up that as a first feud right there, and that Toronto crowd, they would eat it up alive.
What about?
Much as I love Jamie, I don't think she's earned it yet. She hasn't had those big match wins yet. Not like
I thought she had up until. I thought she had up until the loss to Mercedes. And that match was fucking great. The problem with Willow and Statlander is they've been, and this is what I'm really looking forward to about this match more than anything, is the fact that they've just been rudderless in terms of direction, and just popping up every now and again. I really what I want out of this match more than anything is women's angles, new feuds to be made from
Sink
this.
Your teeth into,
I think back to when we had that tag team Casino match, and we all got really excited because the tags are all, we thought, there's loads coming out of this, and then nothing happened. It's like the Righteous were feuding with whoever, the Outrunners went through everybody, and then afterwards nothing happened, and then just stuck them on Private Party a few weeks later. I really hope that there's something good comes out of this in terms of the direction for the women, and for maybe some of the more underused ones to get something meaty to get stuck into. The reason I don't think Statlander or Willow, I will elaborate later, because I do feel like there's something else going to happen with them, which I'm sure we probably all do, but whatever. I'll pretend it's just me and I'm very clever.
Shall we bounce on to the next match?
Yes,
One that, so on Collision, I think it's worth us noting, at some point we'll probably come to it, but just how good a fucking tag match we got with FTR and the Outrunners. Like a normal smack bang, normal proper fucking
unreal,
old school tag match. Amazing.
Everything
that was
about
so
that
good.
was so old school, proper tag. It was unreal. It was probably, it was definitely the best Outrunners match that I've ever seen. And
the thing is, one thing before we move on, what I was going to say, FTR are getting a lot of credit for that match. Acting like Outrunners didn't play their part is quite annoying, because the Outrunners were fucking outstanding throughout this match. They played their roles perfectly. They everything worked for them. Yes, we know how good FTR, but it was an injustice how many people praise FTR and didn't give the dues to the Outrunners in that match.
I hate that full stop when it happens. When it takes 2 to have a good match, or 4 in this case. You can't, no one can carry someone who's incapable. They can't. I know we say, Brian Daniels could have a good match with the fucking Broom or whatever, and Zack Sabre Jr. They'd probably have an all right match, but this wasn't a carry job at all. This was two teams who were fucking brilliant. The chemistry was there. They clearly get on, and they wanted to make each other look good and really push on. It was fucking brilliant. Proper old school fucking graps this as well.
Do you hear the pop for when the Outrunners hit the shatter machine? That was
amazing.
Unreal.
So good.
Anyway, little bits in it, when he's going for the fucking when he's trying to pull him for the pin and he's holding on the ropes, and then fucking Truth does the fucking the little hop over the top to fucking break the. It's just little things like that were great, and the hot tags in it were fucking brilliant. Yeah. You can't beat a good hot tag. We don't get enough good hot tags anymore.
FTR holding the tag
is the number one hot tag in wrestling. Truth is the number one hot tag.
No one tags like the Outrunners.
That
was an unrestricted.
They don't it's old school hot tags. It really is.
Because they've got the stuff. They've got the stuff.
What was meant to be a nice. This was meant to be a nice seamless transition from one good tag match to another.
And yet here we are waxing lyrical at the Outrunners again.
Without Stokely Hathaway at ringside.
Well, I actually think, before we go on to the next match then, I know this is a little bit off script, this is probably a good point to say, where the fuck are FTR in this pay-per-view? What do we think they're going to do?
They have, again, before we started recording, I said I still think something will happen on Dynamite. Can
I give you mine?
Go on.
Okay.
I think we get FTR, the Outrunners, and I think the Outrunners get the win, and I think they get the win with the return of Adam Copeland. I think Adam Copeland comes in, attacks them. The FTR get the win, not in a cheating kind of way, but he just, maybe throws them off the game or something.
Is it a normal match, or is there a stip?
I think we get just a rematch. I think Copeland comes back, and I think that sets. What I would do is I would have that then set for the next few pay-per-views, or next whatever cycle, Copeland and whoever versus FTR, and eventually then FTR come back around to the Outrunners, who, for me, once they've got this win, I would set them on a path of wins. let's get them
Copeland and Danny
fucking winning
Garcia.
now. Get them back up. Yeah, just get them winning. And then let Cope deal with that. When the whole Cope shit goes to shit, which we kind of hope it's going to be, which even though we shouldn't be wanting the heels to win, but we do because we want the outcome of this. Then that's when FTR then go back after the Outrunners for that win, and we can get some meaty fucking, hopefully at that point, tag title fucking action. Because my dream in life is to see the Outrunners with the tag titles.
I'm all for this match happening again, but for me, I really feel it should have something, an added stake to it, simply because it will mean that there's at least 2 matches straight away I know have happened on free TV that will then be a rematch on their biggest show of the year within a couple of weeks, as we've got with Fletcher Adam Cole. So that's my only gripe there.
What would you do then? Stipulation-wise?
It still wouldn't surprise me if because there was a bit of cheating, it wouldn't surprise me if there's a rematch on either Dynamite or Collision this week. And that's when you get Copeland coming back. I still think they're going to have Copeland. I still think they're going to go with that because I think if Copeland's ready, there's enough potential other returns. I still think they're going to try and have that tag. I think there's 2 more matches. We're going to get a trio. Well, we'll talk about this later, but I think we'll get 2 more matches. I would like FTR v Outrunners. It's a shame that the match on Collision isn't the one on pay-per-view because it was pay-per-view worthy. But I don't know, it's a tricky one. But I just, again, when it comes to, especially All In, like, which is AEW's WrestleMania, having 2 matches on the card that have been on free TV within the previous 3 or 4 weeks, for me, I just don't like that.
Give them a fucking cage match.
Something, I don't mind. Dog collar it.
Cage, just
fucking
dog
Dog collar, yes.
Yeah.
Dog collar it.
I
mean, I don't know if FTR
arms
would
are
want
going
another
again.
dog collar.
Dog collar.
Yeah, probably not actually. Yeah. Maybe
Is there some
FTR
sort of
will be
old school rules we can put in from, like, I don't know.
Texas
I've seen a
bull
black
rope
and white
or
one of them
something like
on
that.
trampolines. Of what?
Texas
Sorry.
bull rope match or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you know what?
strap match or
We are.
something.
Maybe they do the trio match and Cope teams up with him and FTR have a mystery partner as Daniel Garcia or something. I don't know, but like I just don't want that match that was so good in the week and the Outrunners because they're so fucking over to just be like collateral in the FTR Cope feud. I want them to be the end game of this and obviously Cope then to go off with Christian at some point and and FTR to come back around to this because this is what we felt we were getting. What was it 6 months ago when Dax fucking bleached his fucking moustache and we were like it's happening and then it just went away. So like this is what we should be getting and we've seen that they clearly have chemistry together. They can go and like FTR I think are probably the second best of all time, to be honest. I know people will throw out Legion of Doom and fucking the Dudleys and all these
fucking
fuckers.
Demolition.
Yeah, but no, FTR are the second best of all time, just behind the Bucks for me. They can, yeah.
Agreed.
Speaking of the Bucks. Speaking of the Bucks.
Oh, well done.
That was
Well
very
done.
good. Very good.
Speaking of the Bucks,
Don't distract him
who are they
again,
fighting?
let's
Swerve and Ospreay. The Bucks v Swerve and Ospreay. This has the potential to be like one of the just how good this match can be.
This could be match of the night.
Salivating at the thought
This
about
could be a
this is gonna
sleeper for match of the night, to be honest.
100%.
I think it's probably favourite for match of the night, to be honest. Like overall,
well,
because
there's a couple. There's a couple which could take.
It's the Bucks and it's fucking Ospreay and Swerve. It's like
Yeah. If they decide they're having the match of the night, they're going out there to have the match of the night.
I mean, when you look at all the ingredients, and you could just get like a 7-star match out of it. But yeah, I mean, I think the stipulation really kind of adds a lot to it because if you'd have asked me 2 months ago where would I have put Swerve and Ospreay on the card, the last thing I would have said would have been to just tag with each other and fight the Bucks. But having had the stipulation now, I'm actually really intrigued to see where this one goes. My gut instinct says that the Bucks are winning, because I think we're going to get like one of Swerve and Ospreay turning heel fairly soon after this. But because the tag division, which we'll get into when. After this, actually, with the tag title situation, I think I think Swerve and Ospreay could make a case to challenge for the belts, maybe at like All Out or even at like Forbidden Door or something. But I think the Bucks are winning. But equally, I don't want to say that with absolute confidence.
Can I just say, Dan? Did you say you wouldn't have thought of this match 2 months ago because Brian Alvarez said it and said that it was going to be Hangman and Swerve tagging? Because that's what everyone else was.
Yeah, I mean, everyone was convinced, weren't they? Everyone was like, "It's definitely happening. It's definitely," and this is why you have people thinking that Darby Allin's going to win the title, even though he's not been on TV.
Because the man who gets
all
literally
year.
everything he says about AEW wrong said it. Like the fuck.
Yeah,
There's never right about AEW.
he also
Never fucking right.
he also never claims to be an insider. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, no, in midweek there, he was fucking saying that Mox forgot Hangman had a match with him. No, he didn't. Did he even watch the fucking show? It was elaborated. He doesn't watch the fucking shows. Anyway, fuck him. He's got a great voice, though. I'll give him that. He's got a great radio voice. He can have that.
He's got a great face for radio as well, but that's by the by.
It's a bit harsh, like.
Not bitchy.
So have I. So have I.
Bloody hell, what was I going to say before we started getting
I don't know.
bitchy?
Something about the Bucks or Ospreay.
See, to me, if the Young Bucks win, I don't know who turns. Is it Ospreay? Is it Swerve? Because one of them is going to get arsey with the other. Now, on the one hand, you would think Swerve because Ospreay pushed him into that stipulation. But a heel Swerve, I don't know. I think Ospreay turns. Then he has a year to redeem himself, to take the title from whoever has it at the time, maybe a heel Kenny Omega at Wembley when the year is up.
Swerve's character for me has been a bit dweeby the last few weeks. I've noticed things going in. I think he'll turn.
I think
he'll turn at the show.
I think that's a swerve, and that's not a stupid pun. I think it is a swerve. I think Ospreay's going to be the one to turn. I think Swerve's going to be the one who's pissed off with Ospreay, and Ospreay's going to fucking snap and just beat the shit out of him. And then we get a feud between them over. Not instantly. I don't think the turns happen instantly. I think they win. I think they lose this, but then they go on a tag run together, and then it slowly breaks apart over the next few months.
Because the timing does align up with next year's All In at Wembley Stadium.
Too much, isn't it? Yeah.
It's very.
Got to be Ospreay. I mean,
the Bucks are definitely winning this match, no doubt.
They have to. The Bucks winning means that there's a reason Swerve doesn't instantly go after Hangman again. If Hangman wins.
Exactly.
Otherwise, Swerve has got to be the number one contender, and we don't want that match again.
No.
But this stipulation keeps Ospreay and Swerve, the two obvious number one contenders, away from either Hangman or Mox.
That's why the winner of this match really, and the winner of the men's casino is really, like, you can't really predict it for me. That's why this pay-per-view is so must-see.
Support whoever wins the casino.
It's interesting what you say, though, because like logically, if Hangman and Swerve win, if Ospreay and Swerve win, Ospreay said...
Alternate reality there,
yeah. Yeah, that's Brian Alvarez fucking universe. Ospreay said... We will not challenge for the title. So Ospreay clearly wants to challenge for the title again, and I just don't think they run back Hangman and Ospreay so soon, or Hangman and Swerve, especially seeing as really Swerve and Hangman would have to take losses if they did that over the next few months. Swerve and Ospreay would have to take losses if they did that. Brian Alvarez has fried me fucking brain, but they'd have to take losses because Hangman ain't losing within a couple of months. So it makes sense.
Mox.
Not yet, anyway.
They could do that. Yeah, that could be a good one. Depends what happens after this. I mean, I think that's leading into other things, isn't it? So,
yeah, Brett, go on. You're going to be there. What are you going to see?
Listen. Any of these matches, I'm not 100% certain on anything. I'm not putting. I know I have my winners who I want to win, but you asked me to put like any amount of money on it. Like I don't know. Like I understand the stipulation, and it's the easiest thing to look at. Oh, it keeps Ospreay out of the title scene for a year, but I feel like on the other hand, that's like so obvious, right? It's like, yeah, that's why they definitely put this stipulation to have Ospreay away from the main event scene for up to a year. I feel like that's the obvious thing right there. But in wrestling, so many times we see like the obvious thing is right there, and then they just decided to go left over here. So I don't know. If you were to give me odds, I say 60%, 55%. I say Bucks are winning this match, but it could literally go either way.
Okay, let's have a show of hands.
Nothing is ever really as it seems with AEW sometimes. No. Like, sometimes the simplest answer is the right way to go, but sometimes there's a layer underneath, and what you see is not necessarily what you get.
That's a plan.
Yeah.
All right, okay, let's have a show of hands here. Raise your hand if the Bucks are winning.
I think the Bucks are winning, but again, I don't want to say that.
You just said the Bucks are winning.
He did say 55%.
That's why I'm like,
Brett's
I won't be mad or disappointed either way. How about that? I won't be mad or disappointed either way.
Yeah. But either way, this could be match of the night. But again,
match
you can make a case
year.
for maybe like 5 or 6 of them being match of the night.
If they're back there and go, should we kill it, lads? Yeah, why not? Let's go and have the best match of all time. Those are 4 guys that can do that.
Exactly.
Sorry, just when Brett said he wasn't going to bet on any man, just check the odds. There's no odds yet. But when the odds do come up, bet on Hangman.
Always bet on Hangman.
I don't gamble, but yeah.
All right, guys.
On to the
speaking of
I
tag
bet the
title
washing
match.
up was
Three-way tag. Three-way tag. We got the Patriarchy.
Wow.
We got
For
the
now.
Hurt Syndicate, and we got Jet Speed.
It's a weird
This
one.
is
This
one
one.
match. I am convinced I know what's happening. So can I go first on this one?
Go for
Go
it.
on,
Yeah,
then.
I want to
Go
know.
on.
The reason it's a three-way is that so the Hurt Syndicate can lose without having to take the pin. I think somebody in Jet Speed pins Nick Wayne, and that's how we get the splintering of the Patriarchy, and we also get some tension between the Hurt Syndicate.
Would it not make more sense for him to pin Christian and then Nick Wayne gets pissed off at Christian and turns
yeah.
on him?
Yeah.
That's better,
think
do that
so,
one.
Yeah.
That's what I think, but I don't think the Hurt Syndicate are losing. I can't see it myself. I think a lot of people. Well,
I do.
You do?
I do think they're losing. Sorry, carry on.
I don't. I'm not. I'm not convinced yet. I think Christian is taking the fall, but it'll be from either Bobby or Shelton. Shelton lost on Collision, and I think they're going to try and keep them strong, like coming out of this. I think that they're so over. Like, people can wax lyrical about the tag division and whatever all they want, but they are very over. I can't see them losing. If we're going to get a few
whoever
title
beats
changes
them,
on this thing,
ever?
I think we're going to have the Hurt Syndicate. Like, Jet Speed aren't... I mean, I like them. I like them as a tag team, but
I
they're
think
not...
Hurt Syndicate retain.
They're not like at the level of the Hurt Syndicate yet.
Brody and Buddy, when Buddy's back, they'll beat. They'll beat
they
the
have
Hurt
to.
Syndicate.
Yeah.
Well,
They-
so
they should
I
have.
have I have a pseudo theory.
Oh,
Obviously, you
Buddy!
mentioned.
Is it how far is he away? Didn't think of him for the
don't
fucking.
know.
I think the last we heard was that he had an
me have a
ankle.
look.
He had like a little setback.
was
But
bad news.
While you're finding that out, what if FTR get added to this match on Wednesday? How would you feel about that? And then the Outrunners cost them the match, and then we continue the feud, because then that gives FTR something to do on the main card, like without affecting anything else.
I'd rather have the match.
But you wouldn't be upset with...
No, if it's FTR on the card at all, or that, obviously I want FTR on the card.
Because that could lead to Cope coming back as well, with some shenanigans with Christian, which starts they don't reunite, but that starts
Actually, I like this.
dangling the carrot
I
like this.
towards All Out
That's a
Toronto.
good one.
This is a great one, sir.
Alright.
That's your best idea you've ever had.
Well
Dan.
done.
A face-off. Yeah, I'll give you a clap for that. A
What- yeah,
face-off.
so-
Sorry, it's
what,
not
like,
if-
sounds patronising. It's not meant to
Maybe-
be.
By the
Maybe
time this
the-
gets released, obviously they'll probably have added 4 different matches to the card by now. But
I don't care. This should happen. You're
I
onto some
think
of this. It should happen.
If,
So
if
We're doing
FTR
this
get
on
added
Monday
to the
night,
tag
'cause-
title
yeah.
match, make it a 4-way, make it a ladder match, whatever
obviously.
you want to do. Make
should
just make something like absolutely insane happen. The Outrunners get involved. Cope comes back. Christian takes the loss. Hurt Syndicate go off and do their thing. Jet Speed are still protected. They can make a claim for the title match down the line because they didn't lose. Dax and Cash then, I don't know, maybe join in, beat the shit out of Christian as well with Nick Wayne after turning on them. Cope comes back. They don't shake hands. They don't reunite. Cope just looks at him, fends off the heels. They look at each other, and that's it. Nothing else happens. That's all. That's all you need to do.
I like this, but what I would have Cope come in and go just straight for FTR, just have the fucking laser sighting on FTR, and inadvertently help Christian, and then Christian just or even a bit of pushing between them. Christian, what are you doing? Fuck off.
To me,
Don't
it
want
feels
to do with you.
yeah. It feels like this is a way because I've been and maybe as well we get a fucking Luchasaurus return here as well or something to cost
Just returns all
just
night.
return.
It's a
Yeah, I know.
revolving
There's
door.
so
Every match
many.
is a
There's so
return.
many.
Everything's a return.
The most
But-
overbooked
We did
show
this at
ever, and we
Revolution,
loved it.
didn't we? We predicted a return. And
There's nothing.
Every match has a return.
Fucking
Nobody returned.
none.
No, but it's,
Alright,
it's the
I like
biggest
that.
pay. It's the
Davis
biggest
back
pay
in
per
the
view.
Ospreay match then. We'll have
I
that.
like that. I like that. I want that now. I still would
Okay.
rather FTR the Outrunners, but I do like that as
You've
a
talked me into
second.
it now. I was so sure.
It feels like FTR are getting rightfully praised, but like you said, so should the Outrunners. But add them to the match. They don't have to take the pin. The only person who should take the pin in this is Christian, for me, because then it opens up all the
You've talked me
storyline
into it, you
possibilities.
charismatic bastard. I'm
I-
absolutely convinced.
There's
now.
no other decision. There's no one else in this match who should be taking the pin other than Christian. Because remember, when Christian failed his cash in back in Revolution, Nick Wayne was right on him. What happened to the plan?
Yeah.
You failed. You didn't win the title. And this is another instance where Nick Wayne can be like, you took the pin. You cost us the the titles, and like that will continue the descent within the patriarchy itself. And then if and when Killswitch does come back, where it looks obvious where he's gonna side with Christian Cage, what if Killswitch sides with Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian, and they all take out Christian Cage right there? But like, I think Hurt Syndicate's gonna retain this match, but Christian should absolutely 100% take the pin. You further along that storyline, the descent with the patriarchy, and you're just another step closer to the eventual reunion between Christian and Copeland.
Like I said, you could drag this out. You can just sprinkle like little things here and there. Cope's going to have his score to settle with FTR. Christian's going to have the split from the patriarchy to deal with. But then something else happens. They coalesce. Something, the stories intertwine a little bit.
Quick reminder.
Again, anyway.
Quick reminder. Where's All Out again?
Toronto, man.
Oh,
we got 2 months.
I wasn't looking at. I totally wasn't looking at flights or tickets earlier, by the way. But that's another story.
Let's all have a look. Okay, if I win the lottery, we'll go.
I reckon that before we move on, I reckon that Jet Speed are winning this, and that's only because
that's my
they've been buried the last couple of weeks. They've not buried, but they've been,
there is that.
And I feel like they were doing so well. They were doing, like, both of them as singles were doing so fucking well. So you don't put them as tags and then make them just fucking losers. I think they're getting the win here. Even if they lose it again in a few weeks, I feel like there's
like
going to be an
Mick
upset.
Foley kind of moment. They get the surprise win, and then the Hurt Syndicate win it back or something.
I feel like they're doing that because of what you say there. The Christian takes the pin from them, and the Hurt Syndicate can argue between themselves then.
Yeah, I agree there, because although if, as we're saying, Buddy's not ready to come back, without Buddy and Brody, who then can beat the Hurt Syndicate?
This is it. That's why I think the reign's going on a little bit longer, is because the whole gimmick is getting people to step up and actually like win matches.
If you thinking Swerve and Ospreay, then who can?
What if what if, like, personally, I want the Bucks to beat the Hurt Syndicate because we know the Bucks wanted to drop the titles to the Outrunners in a squash match, and I want to see that more than anything. But what if Jack Perry comes back as a good guy somehow and does reunite with Luchasaurus? That tag division is all of a sudden on fire again.
Yeah.
Because they were a great tag team, man. Luchasaurus is so fucking underrated for a big man.
I think, again, but this is why the Christian thing, his involvement is that it could lead to so many things. And I know he's not on TV like every week, but when he does, it fucking counts.
No, he does. He just holds that screen completely, doesn't he? He's incredible.
This is why he's always in my top 5, top 10 at least. Anyway. Before I go on a soliloquy about Christian, picks for winners. I'm going the Hurt Syndicate.
I'm going with what you said, but with I'm with Lucy on this. I feel like it's Jet Speed.
Syndicate
retain, because there's going to be enough tag titles changing hand. Enough titles changing hand.
No matter who wins, Christian has to eat that pin.
Yeah. The patriarchy are not winning. Let's put it that way.
I've been talked into that with Nick Wayne.
You say that, and by the time
we all look like dipshit.
yeah, this is it. They're going to win it now, and we're all going to
I'd like
nothing what we said is coming true. Anyway,
I'm sure we're all very excited for this next one.
Yeah, I will point out that we are recording this on a Monday. When there's nothing else wrestling related to do. So anything that is added after that.
There is. You can go and rewatch the Eve show from the other night, which is very good, by the way.
All right,
back Dark. I miss Monday Night Wrestling.
To what I think we would probably all agree is the most foregone conclusionistic match of the night. The TNT title. This should be Brody Cody Part 2. It should be an absolute fucking maul-in. New TNT champion. I don't think anyone is going to remotely contest that, are they?
You had me there for a second. I thought you'd talk about another match because of the listening in the chat. I was like, how is this fucking a foregone conclusion? What the fuck, man? But no, okay.
You jumped around, the chat we put on.
I feel like it's a good one to move on to, though, and I think it should be an absolute demolition. I feel like it could set both characters off onto decent paths. It could have build this fucking title up to what it felt like 2 years ago, and this should happen. And I don't care how they do it either.
I believe they're going to do it.
The Mystic group chat strikes again by us. We predicted this about a month ago, didn't we? About how Fletcher Cole would be one of the All In matches. It was either Fletcher or Ricochet who would fight Cole, and I'm glad it's Fletcher because that promo he cut, by the way, on Collision, it showed me like how much of a complete wrestler he is in just a short space of time as a singles.
Fucking ridiculous.
At 26 years old, that man should not be as good as he is, and yet here he is, just proving me wrong. But yes, he should absolutely win this.
I've never Ricochet in the Gauntlet. Now you've mentioned.
Well, yeah, Ricochet is in the Gauntlet.
I've never seen.
He could win it. He could win it and all. But anyway, carry on.
I've never seen such. No, I've never seen a change of this magnitude in a wrestler within 6 months as I have with Carl Fletcher. He's gone from someone who I thought was a decent tag guy to being someone who we're talking about at the TNT, but then we're also asking ourselves, is that a bit low for him? Should he not be in the world title picture?
World title picture.
He's fucking phenomenal. He really is. Absolute first class.
So what I think happens here is I think Garcia is involved somehow, but I think he screws Cole. That's how he loses. I don't think it's a squash. I think Fletcher will look dominant. Cole will get a little bit of offense in here and there. He'll do like his usual moves, like the Panama Sunrise and the super kick and things like that. It'll go a bit close, but it won't be anything other than a collision.
They gave Cole.
But I think Garcia screws Cole. That's how we get the Garcia heel turn.
Well, what if you say
the moral win, didn't they? They gave Cole the moral win the other week.
Yeah.
Like, he would have won if it wasn't for the DQ. I think they did that to soften the blow of saying, look, you sort of won this one, but you're going to get. I think this has to go under 5 minutes. I think this should be.
I agree.
I think this should be awful.
I'd love it, but I don't think it will. I'd love it.
I think again, Adam Cole can take these kind of feats and bounce back. There's a trios division screaming out for those three to do their work there. I just think that this is a big moment for Carl Fletcher. I think this, honestly, if it goes more than 5 minutes, I'll be disappointed. If Cole gets in more than 15% of offense in this match, I just think that this is what we need. When was the last AEW squash that wasn't with a jobber? How long's it been now?
Was it Brody Darby? Or am I imagining that?
That did happen, didn't it? Yeah. So you're talking 3 years ago now.
Yeah. I can't remember.
Look, again, your biggest show require big moments.
Why is Adam Cole suddenly, someone who has been in the world title race, why is he suddenly being squashed by Kyle Fletcher? There's no character reason.
Cody Rhodes was squashed.
Well, yeah,
Cody was squashed by Brody.
Yeah, because Cody was getting a little bit arrogant and above himself. Adam Cole
It's
hasn't
not suddenly
done
though, is it? I mean, he was out injured for over a year, so he's not the old Adam Cole. Like really,
He's won the title.
The match they had on Collision was very
at Adam
good.
Cole losing his touch at all yet.
What if you talk about?
Yeah, I was gonna say for me, it's not so much an Adam Cole thing. It's more a Kyle Fletcher thing. He is here. He has arrived. Like Andy said. Like I liked him. You know, with him and Mark Davis as a tag team. They were a good tag team. But if let's be honest, any of us would be lying right now if we said 3-4 years ago when they first showed up on AEW TV that this is what Kyle Fletcher is gonna be in 3 years time. You'd be out of you'd be lying your ass off. Like, but listen, from turning heel back in October to joining up with the Don Callis family, like to what he is now, he is the total package overall. The look, the presence, the talk, just the aura, the swagger, everything that you want in a professional wrestler in today, Kyle Fletcher is. So it's not so much that I know it sounds like we're disrespecting Adam Cole, but it's not so much an Adam Cole thing. It's a Kyle Fletcher has arrived. And, we talk, Andy mentioned about, like, is the TNT title a little bit below him? No, Kyle Fletcher is the guy that I think is necessary right now to elevate that title. Because guess what? You give Fletcher that title, look at everything that's already opened up to him. Little dissension within the Don Callis family down the line, potentially with Takeshita. Boom, you got that right there. You got, my God, you got freaking Kota Ibushi back. Maybe you run that route right there. I mean, who knows? You got Ricochet in that division as well. There's so many
Sorry, you
guys.
Just said Kota Ibushi versus Kyle Fletcher, and I think
Wait a minute there. God, you can't just say that.
Now listen, I want to say a 5-6 minute squash. Like give Cole like a couple minute hope spot, like
7 minutes in.
7-8 minutes, I think is a good, because also we have to consider we don't know. It depends on which match it follows. Like if it follows, like let's say the Bucks and Ospreay Swerve, you got to go. I think a few minutes longer to kind of get the crowd to recover a little bit. You can't. I don't think you could do a squash match depending on which match it follows.
Don't have Kyle have a competitive match against Daniel Garcia and then squash Adam Cole.
Oh, a real thing about Daniel Garcia. I'm sorry, Daniel Garcia. Keep him away from the match. I don't want Garcia anywhere near this match. I'm sorry.
Okay, but keep Daniel Garcia away. But one of you guys mentioned Wardlow before. What if Wardlow makes a return and
I take that.
Because Adam Cole treated him like fucking shit. I know they've kind of retconned that, like, but he treated him like the fucking. He was basically doing a Christian with Luchasaurus, wasn't he?
It was the bit when he was walking behind Wardlow, and you could just see that they deliberately shot when Wardlow was facing like the hard cam, and Cole was walking behind him. He looked at this menacing look on his face.
I think that was the plan, wasn't it? Like
that
for him
was,
to turn on him
obviously.
and kick him out. But like obviously things went fucking wrong for various reasons. But what if Wardlow returns then and just fucking destroys him?
What if Wardlow's a member of the Don Callis family? What if?
Could be.
I take that. He needs
a
mouthpiece. He needs a mouthpiece.
Three words after the TNT title match. 3 words. Post-match beatdown. Cole is getting up. He's getting cheered from the crowd. And then who comes out of the crowd out of nowhere? Wardlow just fucking destroys Adam Cole post-match. No happy feelings for him. He gets destroyed.
There's a story there.
Yeah, powerbomb him through a table, whatever, destroy him. And then maybe on the top of the ramp where Wardlow is walking back, who's waiting for him on the top of the ramp? Don Callis.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I take it. I would absolutely take it.
And
anyway,
as long as they don't cut his hair again, we'll all be good.
Yeah.
But yeah,
He's
gonna cut it just
like
bald,
fucking
man. Just
like fucking Samson, wasn't he? Though they cut his hair and he was shite all of a sudden.
Well, it's
But
when
Kyle
they put
Fletcher's
him with
like reverse Samson. You take it off, and all of a sudden he's magic. Yeah, Wardlow's the
basically.
other way around. Leave it alone.
Right.
I'm usually all for bald, but no, Wardlow needs to keep it.
Oh,
3 matches to go. Triple main event, you want to call it that maybe? Are we going for the unification title match now?
Yeah, let's do
it seems like it.
Yeah, but no, it's not a triple main event. I hate it when they refer to that.
It's
There's
not
only
just
one main
one
event.
main event. The main event's the last
I
match of
know.
the fucking show, man.
I fucking hate when they do that.
WrestleMania's 2 nights. There's one main event.
I'm
The
sorry,
last match
Andy.
on Sunday's main
Fun
event.
history
It's
fact,
one
though,
main
the main
event.
event used to go on first.
Me and Mark, we
Traditionally,
took
in
our
wrestling.
Fed pills before the show.
Buy one get one free extravaganza.
One main event. One main event. This is not a main event, but it could be a main event, but it's not a main event. It's Okada v Omega. I have no fucking idea who's winning this one, but I'll say Okada.
I can't call this. I can't call this one.
I have no idea, but this is good. I do think this is going to be a match at night. People are now over the last few days have been trying to lower expectations. I don't know whether this is from AEW people putting this out there to fuck with us, or whether this is just miserable fuckers online. But they're all like, "Oh, Kenny's not the Kenny he was. He clearly can't go that often. That's why he's took some time off the last few weeks." Fuck off. Kenny can go. Have you actually watched Kenny since he come back? He can fucking go.
I mean,
he doesn't have a bad match.
The match with Gabe Kidd, the tag match against Grand Slam Australia, the match with Brian Cage was really
Kenny
good.
can go.
The matches with Ricochet and Speedball, the match with Takeshita. You're fucking lying to yourself.
He can go.
No,
Kenny
it's very
Omega
quickly.
is still the
He's
best
Kenny
wrestler
Omega.
in the world.
Yeah, he is. He's Kenny
Omega
Omega. He's
came
the
back.
god of pro wrestling.
He's also selling the injury that he suffered where he was
Exactly.
coughing up blood.
Oh, I hated that.
He's the god of pro
8 matches
fucking
this
wrestling,
year.
man.
He's had 8 matches this year. None of them have been rated under a 7. All barring 2 have been rated over 8.7. The ones that weren't were against Brian Cage and that's the only one. No, that's the only one. Every other match has been over
Brian Cage?
8.5, apart from one match.
Yeah, that
And still a
was
good
his
match.
return match to Dynamite. I thought it was good personally.
Yeah, it's probably
Good.
been rated low by some fucking Fed dude, but no, it's
He can't go anymore. They're saying he can't go. 9.61, 706, 8.6, 8.88, 9.1, 8.1, 9.25, 8.33. Literally
The
no
highest
one
one
can say
has
that
to be
this
the
year.
Gabe Kidd.
and people are going, "Oh, it's it probably won't be as good as the other matches." It probably won't be. But how do we fucking know? Did anyone think his match with fucking Will Ospreay, the two of them, were going to be as good as any of the matches he's previously had?
No
No.
one thought his comeback match with Gabe Kidd would be what it was.
Exactly.
No one thought he'd ever top his previous matches, and he's fucking done that in the past. It's Kenny Omega. It's Okada, for fuck's sake. People go, Okada's washed. He's not. Fuck off. Okada is doing what Okada wants, and and when he has to, he turns up and has a fucking brilliant match.
The match with the
matches.
Bushi. Yeah, the match with the Bushi was way better than people were expecting, and
The match
they
with
very
Speedball.
quickly shut. The match was the match with Ricochet.
when has he had a bad
with
match?
Ospreay.
Yeah,
When has he had a bad
been
match?
Shit.
The matches
Just 'cause
with
his
Pac and the
character's so-
matches with Eddie Kingston and the matches
Just because his
with-
character's fucking calling people bitch and
I love.
sticking the fucking finger up and that, like it's whatever. But when he gets in that fucking ring, he hits the best drop kick I've ever seen. Picture perfect. You ask someone to fucking draw a drop kick, that's what they fucking draw.
That one he hit
Okada.
on Speedball was my God.
Beautiful.
I have never been sexually attracted to a move before, but that fucking drop kick had me.
Although
I watched
Kevin
it.
Knight does does get very close with in
Mate,
terms
Kevin
of the
Knight's
drop.
one is amazing because his standing position to where he gets to is fucking incredible.
Kevin Knight's like the fucking Matrix. It's ridiculous.
Honestly,
he's done
so
some things
good.
in the ring where I'm like, how the fuck has he done that? He seems to float. It's weird. But
AR Fox is the one that does that for me when he does that thing where he
he
goes
does,
that way,
yeah.
but it's actually that way. I was like, fuck off. You're not. No, absolutely not.
It's not. Yeah.
This is one match I hope has no shenanigans. I mean, if Don Callis, it probably will, but just let these two, give them the 30-something minutes that they want. I don't know where this gets placed on the card. It's an interesting one where you put it in for the pacing of the show. It can't go too near the end, but you don't really want to follow this match for a few reasons.
Right.
I have a
What did
theory.
we do last time and put it late and then have 3 amazing matches.
Can I give you my theory on this?
But
I
what it
think
is,
these
isn't it?
guys have the match at night. I think they have an absolute fucking banger of a match. I think afterwards, Callis' goons come in, and I think Okada sides with Kenny and essentially backs him off. I feel like it's going to be one of them show of respect kind of things. Not friends, but I feel like Okada will stop them from attacking Kenny in a kind of like, fuck no. Because I think these guys are going to have a fucking war. And it's like, look, this goes past just a fucking storyline. This is Kenny Omega and fucking Okada.
Yeah.
You know, they can go after Kenny next week. But I think Okada stops them or tells them not to or whatever. And I feel like this match is going to be...
Yeah,
I
again,
think Ibushi's gonna be there involved. in
Ibushi's
that.
going to do something here. Whether he stops Callis getting involved
So
or something.
that suffices. That suffices. That's enough. That's all it needs. Let these two have a fucking war and let Ibushi stop.
I wouldn't be
Callis.
surprised if this goes like 45 minutes, if I'm honest.
Yeah, the same. It's crazy. Like I don't give a fuck what people say. It's Kenny Omega and it's Okada. And at the end of the day...
This is the match that everyone knew was going to happen when Okada signed and
Yeah.
when he turned up that first time. This is the match that they've been leading to while Kenny was still off injured. And when he came back, they teased it right from the get-go. So they will have a lot riding on this, and I think they will have spent time... maybe giving Kenny a bit of time off just to make sure that he's like fully recovered and everything, so he's not like going in like, even slightly banged up, and Okada as well. Even though he did just have a match with Ibushi like less than a week ago, but even so, I think this will be match of the night. But I cannot call a winner. I literally, without any, I think Okada today,
it's
but I'll think
impossible.
Kenny tomorrow. Again,
It's
I
the hardest
cannot.
match at night.
Winner
It really is.
But that's what
Kenny.
makes it good.
The winner of this depends on who wins the main event. If Mox wins the main event,
He's not winning the main event. Why would you say these things? What's
I
wrong
don't
with you?
think this. I don't think it makes any difference.
because this match
It
isn't
does.
main eventing.
because if Mox wins the main event, then Kenny
No.
goes after Mox.
I don't think so.
Kenny loses this and goes after Mox. If Hangman wins the main event, Kenny wins, and that way you have Hangman and Kenny both as champions, which sort of brings them all back together in a little bit.
That to me, I've thought about that scenario a couple of times, but because the main event's a foregone conclusion.
I don't think it's the hardest one because really, like you want Kenny winning. All in. You want Kenny winning, but Kenny, we know Kenny wants to have a tag run with Ibushi, so it's like maybe you have that match. Maybe Okada kicks out the one-winged angel, which will really piss people off. I don't know.
The thing is that if you look at the history, Kenny is 2-1 up on Okada. Okada won the first one, then they did the draw, then Kenny won at the G1, and then Kenny beat him for the title at the following Dominion.
Well, there you go.
So
Okada.
So again, logic says Okada, so then
Got
they're
one more in
2-2.
then.
But again, it's the
They need heels to win some matches on this card, by the way, because
Yeah.
there should be more.
I always
Okada's
fuck the babyface to win.
Okada's not
He should
getting
be
booed in this
70%
match. I don't think he
babyface
is. The only
success.
person who's getting booed in this match is Don Callis. I don't think Okada's getting booed here at all.
To be fair, happens a lot of time with all the Callis family. Innit? He's the one who gets the fucking heat.
Don
it.
Callis and Wheeler Yuta are just absolute heat.
And
magnets.
MJF
Amazing.
and Christian Cage.
Don Callis just has to. Don Callis gets like more nuclear heat than anybody. It's crazy,
Yeah,
and all
it's
you have to
true,
do is
it's
stand
true.
there.
He just all he has to do
He's
is get a
beautifully
microphone and say,
punchable.
"I have something to say." But
Have you ever heard him on
Got-
podcasts when he's just like when he's fully in character as well? He's so fucking funny. It's brilliant.
I love Callis. I think he's
So-
fantastic.
Callis,
He's
Come
fantastic.
and
So
insult Andy on the podcast, you'll love it.
I think.
I mean,
I would
we're a
as well.
follically challenged lot, Don. So you are welcome on the podcast. You're
Yeah,
in
not this.
present
It can
company.
go away forever.
You could even bring a screwdriver. I think that Okada is winning this. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, and I think we
Golden
get them
Lovers.
equal, another match down the line, and the Golden Lovers go off to chase the tag belts and probably have a feud with the Bucks.
Okay. No,
After
I'll
they
change my mind. Maybe
beat-
the Hurt
yeah.
Syndicate will retain because the Golden Lovers could take. Because Kota Ibushi could kill the Hurt Syndicate very
Well,
easily.
maybe the Golden Lovers
Right
against the
move.
Bucks.
I still can't believe we're getting this match this week. Like, this is crazy. It doesn't feel real.
Insane.
So anyway, what?
Right, you're seeing it live.
who's winning?
Brett.
Yeah, Brett,
Don't
fuck
even
you.
talk to me.
Okada.
This is going to be one of them ones where Brett tells about how good it was live, like he does with some of the other matches.
Oh,
Was it
yeah.
Brian
Yeah,
Danielson
I
and
need you to
Omega.
shut your eyes
Every time you
during this
mention that,
match.
I'm like, fuck you.
Oh, you think I'm annoying now with the Danielson
watch
and
this
Omega
match.
match? I'm gonna be even worse after seeing Omega and Okada. Like, I'm gonna turn it up to a 10. But this is another one. Like I said, this is the theme of the card right now. Like, I have a winner. I'm gonna say Omega, but it's like I said earlier. It's like 52% Omega. But it's another one that I won't mind either decision because, like you said, if Okada wins, then you can have the Golden Lovers tag team run right there, and if Omega wins, like fuck, like the line of challengers he could face for his unified championship. Ricochet now aligned with the Gates of Agony, like that would be his first challenger in my opinion, right there. But yeah, I'm gonna go Omega.
Okada.
Okada. I feel Okada wins. Again, that makes it 2-2. One more down the line.
Yeah.
Boom. See you later. It's Okada, I think.
But stranger things have happened. Anyway, so
I think
The second
if
part of our treble main event.
if they do that, by the way, I think we get the next match at Wembley next year. And I don't think Kenny Omega gets involved in the title picture. I think we get
Maybe.
the next match, Okada. Because where's bigger than that? Unless they run one in fucking Japan.
because all the 4 matches they've had up to this point have been in Japan. This is the first one in US.
So US and then Wembley, and that's what a time to be alive.
I know we're getting Kenny Omega and Okada
Wrestling has
on.
never been this good.
It hasn't, like across all
Well, I mean,
forms,
yeah.
apart from the sports
Them.
entertainment.
Apart from like the late 70s, early 80s of British wrestling. Big Daddy, Johnny Hairstacks would smash.
I mean, and now the British Indies is very good, but that's another issue for another day. So
Yes.
Again,
Next match then,
another
sorry.
match that's fucking unpredictable is part 2 of the treble main event. Fuck it, it's an 8-match card. It's an 8-match main event. And it's Mercedes v Toni Storm.
Okay.
I literally have no idea who's winning this one.
This is going on first, though, isn't it? It's going.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Open
it's
the
the
door.
sandwich.
They
They
deserve
open
to
with
go on
this.
first.
Okada,
second best
Kenny,
place on the
middle,
card.
and then the men's title main event.
I
But
think so. I think this is probably the second most hardest match to call on the night.
Toni
Yeah, it
Storm's
really is.
music, she has earned the right for her music to hit first. I know that the champion should come out second, but Toni Storm's year, 18 months, even fucking 2 years, she has earned the right to have the music played to get the first pop of All In 2025
Yeah.
from what she's done. Her
She can do
music
whatever she
play.
wants.
Pardon?
she's
can do whatever
going to
she
get a
wants.
grand entrance as
Yeah.
well. By the way, she's going to have
Whatever
some
she
kind
wants,
of flamboyant entrance.
they should
Both
give
of
her.
them are.
I know there's going to be there are going to be some fucked up entrances, and Toni should have something absolutely like egregiously obscene, but it will be perfectly done because everything she does is perfect. But yeah, sorry, I digress. I have no idea who's winning this one. I want Toni Storm to win it. I think Toni Storm should win it. I have no idea if she's going to win it.
I genuinely don't know.
I
No,
think Toni
open
Storm
with
wins.
Toni. I think opener with Toni is right because her whole gimmick is look at this huge production show I'm
Yeah.
doing, and that starts off their biggest show. I think Toni's winning because Mercedes isn't taking it seriously. She's eating steak, she's eating cake, she's pissing about, she's winning with Toni's moves. Toni never touched that steak when she was at ringside. She was just locked on Mercedes.
That's a good shout. Yeah.
And Mercedes is swanning around wrestling wherever the fuck she wants. She's just traveling, swanning off to fucking Austria, doing Rev Pro shows.
And
Tony's
doing
laser focused.
and doing TikToks with damn Beast Mortals apparently.
Yeah.
Doing damn TikToks with damn Dralistico and Beast
Living the
Mortals.
dream.
Beast Mortals is living that damn dream, man.
That's true.
Half
God,
man,
yeah.
half lawyer, half Mortos.
Mr. Money.
Are you, Scott Steiner, is that you?
I don't think either of these ladies has 141 and 2/3% chance of winning this match, but
I think
I
Toni
think
does.
it's about 50-50 when they go one-on-one, but then you add Luther to the mix, your chances of winning drastically go down. So, yeah, again, but I don't know.
I
I'm
think
seeing
the
Toni,
chances
I could
go
be
up.
talked into it. Yeah, I could be talked into Mercedes very easily Because
it's a
she's
tough
got
one.
all the other belts. She hasn't lost any of them.
Yeah, it's a tough one because like
Of Stardom.
what the biggest women's wrestler in the world. Some would say the best women's wrestler in the world. Definitely the best, I would say, in North America, or in the Western world. What would be what a look for the company, the World Championship on
this is the one that makes the most business sense. Like we all were led to believe it was Mercedes, Athena, and Toni, and maybe Jamie, but in hindsight, this is the best box office match you can do for the women of this company.
What a look for it.
But again, I cannot predict it. I cannot predict the winner of the women's gauntlet, and I cannot predict the winner of this.
Well, what a look if she wins, but also what an event for it to take a first AEW loss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I think. This is event. I know it's going to have a fraction of the crowds they've had in London. This is the biggest event in AEW's history, for more than one reason. This isn't just like Hangman's redemption arc. This is AEW's redemption arc that they are going to fully complete. That probably started All In 2023. This is a big moment for them to stick, and you want the biggest moments. You want the biggest returns. You want the big heel turns. You want the big matches. You want the big moments. And Mercedes' first defeat, this is the perfect time for it. Toni Storm should win this match.
My head says Mercedes, just because it's Mercedes, but I think my heart says Toni.
Well,
so I'm going to go with my heart on this one, and I think Toni.
You say Mercedes makes business sense, and it does. But let's look at the last time they changed the title for something that made business sense on paper, and how much that went to shit. Not that this would happen; it's a completely different situation. But maybe the AEW, not homegrown, but more the AEW kind of
Faithful.
character, and person representing AEW more than anybody should be the one to take this win, because Toni is not what she was outside of AEW right now. She's a completely different fucking animal.
I was with you like maybe a week or two ago. Like I couldn't predict it, but the closer we're getting, I think last week's match with Mercedes and Mina, where like you said, Toni is just laser focused in on the entire match. Like she didn't touch her food. There were no shenanigans from Toni, nothing on commentary. And some people are trying to say, "Oh, she looks scared." No, that's laser focus right now. She has a one-track mind, and it is Mercedes. She was just looking the entire time. That's kind of a face like and a vibe that we've got from Toni. I don't think we've seen in her AEW run whatsoever, especially like the past year and a half or almost 2 years being timeless. Toni Storm. So I think the segment we'll get on Wednesday she's gonna have that same tone, that same attitude, that same just like all seriousness. Let's go. Like I'm ready to go. I think, and I'm with you. They're gonna start the show with this. The biggest show of the year should be where Mercedes does take her first loss on AEW ground. I think Toni wins, and we talked about our women's Casino Gauntlet picks earlier. The winner of this match is gonna, I think, dictate who's gonna win the women's Casino Gauntlet, in my opinion. Like I said Jamie would win earlier. I feel if Toni wins, like it's right there, it's right in front of you, like in Forbidden Doors next month. And if Mercedes wins, then we can get that eventual rematch with her and Athena. So either way, whoever wins, you have a logical next step for the next feud for the women's world title. So it's set up perfectly for whoever wins. But I'm going Toni Storm. Mercedes will eat her first defeat, and I think this will start the fall of Monet as far as not just losing,
it'll be great,
but the belts as well, because you guys we have Forbidden Door obviously in 02. I would assume that's where she loses the Rev Pro title.
Yeah, we have Summer Sizzler. She's defending. She's back before that. She's at
she's defending it in Wolverhampton in June, but I don't think she loses it there personally.
I mean, respectively to
July,
July.
Yeah,
respectively to was it Wolverhampton?
Yeah.
Respectfully to that, I mean, like I would assume, like we just said, the biggest loss for Mercedes at All In, her losing now her first title, well, her second title should be at Forbidden Door, and then Anniversary 92. That's where she should lose the CMLL title.
The big shows scattered around.
The big shows, the big stages. Now we just see like Mercedes just kind of come back to earth.
She talks on the big stage every time.
I'm with you, Brett, but I really wanted to win just because of the amount of people that are going to be crying on Twitter and arguing with Sean Ross Sapp over whether she's got creative control or not.
How many times does Sean Ross Sapp have to explain what fucking creative control?
Fair play to the guy. He's got more patience than me.
Like-
Patient.
I thought, honestly, it must be fucking draining because he deals with, I get it. I've got a fraction of the people that interact with me to do with him, and I know what kind of, how many fucking idiots there are when it comes to these things. And fair dues for him because he always calls them out. He always takes the time to shut these pricks up. But God bless him. God bless that man.
I know. You've got more patience than me.
The best thing I seen the other day though is like the people arguing with him over whether she's got creative control. He's saying there is no creative control in AEW. There isn't any, and they're arguing with him, and they're like, yeah, well, you're just an AEW shill. You always talk shite, and he searches through their interactions where they've referenced Sean Ross Sapp, and they're all like, oh, Sean Ross Sapp is the only news source I listen to. Oh, he's the most reliable out there. But now he says something they don't like. Oh, you're just a fucking shill, man.
Follow him.
I know, it's crazy.
We should do a giveaway. We'll give away a Fightful Select membership because some fuckers need it.
Him and Dave, I do not know how they have the time to argue with these fuckers because
it must be when they'll give them the time they deserve. When you go for a shit, deal with the shit. Deal with it then. Take a shit.
I've got visions of Dave Meltzer having a shit now, arguing on his phone.
And forget they exist.
Dave Meltzer and Bischoff arguing while he's taking a shit.
Sassy and spicy Dave Meltzer is a very fun follow on
so
Twitter.
funny.
Like when he
That's
gets
great.
He's amazing on
he's
that.
amazing. But just real quick, like for Sean, like for Sean, if you're watching this, like listen, we understand, but dude, like I kind of wish you didn't do it. Go back and forth with so many of these like just obvious trolls or whatever, because dude, you're stressing yourself out. You're gonna be bald like myself, Andy, and Dan if you keep going this route. Like I mean, don't get me wrong.
Not like Lucy.
Have you seen the pictures of him when he was younger? He had a great fucking head of hair.
Yeah.
I have no sympathy for him.
Sean
If
Ross
he loses
Sapp
it.
bald, that works for me. I love it when he does it. He makes me laugh. He's like Meltzer.
Yeah.
The more they tell the bitches off, it's
He's the best with receipts I've seen. Like he must have so many fucking folders in his
when
bookmarks.
that
It's unreal.
TV deal came through, it was like, I was messaging people like, get online, he's doing it right now, he's pulling them out.
It's a great day when he dishes out receipts left, right, and centre.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
He's
His
a great,
bookmarks folder.
yeah, honestly, I don't know how he has the patience. He is much more patient man than me.
Well, he's
But
not
I've only
wrestling.
got-
He's not wrestling at All In. So what did we say? We think Tony Storm or
Universally Tony, right?
Tony.
Universal. My hands have gone again. What?
any shit. You like that dude off fucking where they auction the houses off and he's fucking waffling on while he's what you selling the house for now? Then what work have you done in the kitchen?
Oh,
with his fake piano. What's his face?
What's his name? I've forgotten it.
The little fella.
We're all going with Tony, right?
Yes, it is.
All going with Tony, right?
Homes under the hammer. That's what I was
Tony.
thinking of. That little
Tony
prick.
Khan.
Oh no,
Anyway,
I was.
So
I heard he
we've
watches
got
the Fed.
I was thinking of David Dickinson, but anyway.
Since November the 23rd,
Mr. Mahogany.
since November the 23rd, 2024, the result of the next match was abundantly clear to people like Andy and myself.
We've called it
And
all
Dan,
along. We haven't
and Brett.
deviated. We have not
Not so
deviated
much
from
Lucy,
this.
and to Mike, who's not here today.
We have not deviated
We're
from the
getting
plan.
It's clear to me
The
now.
crowning moment. AEW and Hangman Page's redemption arc is complete as of Saturday night / Sunday morning for 4 of the 5 of us in England. Hangman Adam Page is winning his second world title in a Texas death match against Jon Moxley. And fuck yes.
Yes.
Did you not
Just
hear
fuck
though?
yes.
You've all missed something. John Moxley said the word mountain.
Oh,
okay?
fucking hell.
Mountain. That
caught in the
means
recording.
obviously Jeff Jarrett. None of you have
Evidently.
paid any attention
Evidently.
To be honest, I'd take that.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jeff Jarrett has at least been on TV in 2025. Darby Allin hasn't.
Can I have
exactly.
a minute to yell?
Can I-
Go on, Mark. You go first.
Can I
John,
very
back to
quickly?
Mark.
So, like, two of my mates, like, again, I've mentioned them many times, Aaron and Jamie. Like, I've got a group chat with them. They're not on Twitter. They're way too adult to be dealing with that
They're
shit.
cool blokes.
Hello,
They're
Aaron and Jamie.
cool.
You've
They're
met them,
cooler
yeah.
than me.
You've been with them. So, and friends of the channel, of course. So this is a conversation. I brought this up now. These guys have no involvement in Twitter. They have no interest in it, apart from when I send them my own tweets when I'm selling my own shit, basically. So here's what one of them said. Fuck, man. That's what Jamie said. Fuck, man. I really like Moxley. He's fucking brilliant. It took me a while with him, but I get it. He has a massive role in how hard it's going to hit when Hangman wins at All In. And And that's someone who's not influenced by all the bullshit we're getting on Twitter, all the conspiracy theories, all the talks of Mountain being something, all the talks of someone who's been part of the storyline for 2 months, gone for 9 months, winning the world title, who's not been anything to do with it in the whole of 2025. This is someone who watches the show as a fan, without the outside noise that we all get. It is very clear that on the biggest show in AEW's history, their poster boy, the definition of AEW, Hangman Adam Page, is going to win the world title, and it's going to be fucking glorious.
You say that, and I just know that when this match happens, I'm not going to be sitting down. I'm going to be just watching intently, to see what happens, because for every run-in, we know the Death Riders are going to get involved. We know that the Ops are probably going to come back to even the odds. We know that probably Gabe Kidd and maybe Pac if he's healthy, maybe Jack Perry,
Ospreay,
maybe
Swerve, the Bucks.
Ospreay, Swerve, the Bucks, maybe fucking
Endless.
Okada, Eddie Kingston, Bryan Danielson, Chris Jericho,
Sting.
Darby Allin, Sting, whoever.
Brandon
So-
Cutler.
The Rizzler.
Fucking Bandito's going to
Mr.
turn
T,
up as well.
fucking Paul Orndorff, they're all going to be there.
Cosner.
Yeah, it's going to be like fucking
Dog.
Enger. It's going to be like fucking Enger. Maybe fucking
Kermit
Nigel
the
McGuinness
Frog
gets
comes
involved
down from
as
the
well.
rafters.
Gary Barlow.
All right.
And his son. If his son's
think
there, they've got
s-
fucking no chance to Death Riders.
Oh yeah.
Kermit the Frog's son.
Gary
He's so
Barlow's
bad.
son, he's about fucking 9 foot. He's bigger than Ben Bishop.
Kermit-
And that's saying
That's like
something.
Kermit the Frog
Ben,
got
Ben,
kid.
Ben Bishop's a big dude, but he's got no chance against Gary Barlow's son.
Brett, do you know who Gary Barlow is?
Nah, who's that?
He's the twat. Oh, anyway, carry on.
You don't need to
Pick
know.
that guy.
He's
He
a
was, in,
twat.
he was in an American boy. He was in a sorry, not an American boy band.
You've
Right.
heard of Take That, right?
Yeah.
Okay, he was in
Can't
Take
Take That. He's a twat in Take That.
Gotcha.
So I don't care. Fuck Gary Barlow. He's probably a Fed fan. So all I will say is we have stuck to the landing with this for fucking 7 months, while everyone else on other podcasts and Twitter was saying Tony Khan doesn't really believe in Hangman. He doesn't have the confidence and the faith in him anymore. Yeah, fuck off. I don't mean that in a bad way, because I like a lot of these people, but you're being influenced too much by Brian Alvarez and Dave Meltzer's fucking chit chat that isn't actually news. It was never
Shit-chatting.
Darby was probably online to win the title fucking maybe September last year before he decided he was going to do Everest, and then they fucking went out the window. But all along, Hangman's story has been the most important fucking story. Even before that, 18 months ago, the cage match with Swerve, everything has been pointing towards this eventual Hangman fucking return to Hangman. It's a parallel of his original Crisis of Confidence. It's fucking incredible. It's the second greatest men's storyline I've ever seen, behind the other Hangman one. Only to be topped
Okay.
when David Arquette turns up.
Yeah.
Okay, look. I was not entirely on board with the Hangman thing until he played the good guy against Ospreay, until he stepped up and beat Ospreay. And at that point, I was like, oh yeah, Hangman's winning it. But can I just please yell at all the people on Twitter? They've got me doubting, because there's so many of them and they're so sure.
It's
that
the same
Darby.
people.
They're
It's
not
the
real
same
people,
3 or
you
4.
see.
It's the same 3 or 4 people coming up with the same shit. They go, no, it's Darby's stories. Hangman hijacked it. No, he didn't. Darby went to fucking Everest. Hangman was carrying on to try and battle his demons. Darby hasn't been seen
I've
for
seen
fucking
it.
7 months.
I've seen it a lot of people saying, oh, Moxley's returning, Darby's... They're so sure.
He's not.
I feel like, have I missed
He's not.
something?
No, that's what I
I'm
said.
sure that Ospreay was beating Hangman.
We
And,
said-
it was always going to be Hangman.
They've got me
Because Ospreay
doubting,
wasn't
they've
even
got me
meant to be in
doubting
that
now.
fucking main event.
We said this ages ago. We went round all of us and we said, all of us, when you're watching the TV shows, what is the logical story? And everyone said fucking Hangman. It was just before you were on.
is.
And it was Hangman. There was no sign of
Hangman?
Darby anywhere, ever.
They seem so sure.
But people go, oh, well, the Death Riders tried to kill him by throwing him down the stairs. Well, if you've actually watched Darby Allin over the last 5 years, you have to do a lot more than throw him down the stairs. You get thrown down the stairs every fucking week. And they also tried to kill Orange.
downstairs.
But they also tried to
Oh,
kill
Darby
Orange.
Allin goes downstairs.
But they also tried to kill Orange Cassidy. Why is no one fancy booking Orange Cassidy as this big fucking return? Why is it
They
Darby
also
Allin? What
killed
is it about
Bryan
Darby
Danielson.
Allin?
They also have killed a lot of fucking people.
The Darby Allin thing came from that report from Brian Alvarez, and then since then everyone's just latched onto it. If people watch the TV shows with no fucking internet, no fucking stupid rumors and nothing, you're watching the stuff. You don't watch fucking Coronation Street or something. Well, I don't watch that, but if you were watching it anyway, is Ken Barlow still in it? Wherever, if Ken Barlow's in it,
He's
and
dead.
Ken Barlow, okay, well, fuck Ken Barlow, someone else.
Dead.
The Duckworths, if the Duckworths,
He's not dead.
who's in fucking Phil Mitchell and Grant Mitchell, then the fucking EastEnders
That's
guys.
EastEnders.
If they're gonna win, have a fight with each other, you don't start going, oh, This is, I know it is, Barry Grant's turning up from Brookside. Because it's not. Just because someone on the internet told you, you would not logically just suddenly start going, oh, I reckon fucking Jim will fix it, turns up in the next episode. Why? Because it's his story, it's been his story all along. No, it's not. There's nothing related to Darby at all. Ever. There's not. He was a dickhead. He gave his title shot to Mox, and that was basically just showing how much of a fucking moron he is, because it was so fucking easy. And he's gone. And yeah, I'm sure he'll come back and fight off the Death Riders and have his own story, but this was never his story. It's not his fucking story. The story was Mox holding onto that title until there was someone worthy. And the last 7 months, we've had one man who frightens the shit out of Mox. We've seen it in Full Gear. He turned up.
Marina.
Mox's eyes.
Marina took that step back.
Yeah, well, Mox's eyes, though, in Full Gear, that moment, Mox wasn't scared of anyone. And then Hangman turns up and he's like, oh, for fuck's sake. And like since then, you've seen this gradual push now, the acceleration of Hangman's return back, because there was signs of it before. There were signs that after he beat Swerve, there's been signs all along that he doesn't like this, but he can't help himself. And we've had the slow turn. And the moment for me, that was the one where you're like, yes, it's fucking nailed on. Well, there's been loads, but the big one was when he was against Josh Alexander, and he was smiling at the fans. And he's looking at the fans, and the fans are cheering. And you've seen that. I think you text me, Mark, didn't you? And we were like, that fucking smile. Because he was smiling again. And it's like, yes, it's on, it's on. And that's when I knew he was winning that fucking tournament no matter what. It's brilliant. This is what it does.
You. And I do. In my heart, I believe you. But and people watch it, tell me why. What have I missed with Darby Allin? Tell me what I'm not
You've not
seeing.
missed anything, Lucy.
No, but they say that I have.
Lucy, have you watched AEW television all year?
Yes, and I think it's
believe what your eyes tell you. Believe what your eyes tell you. What you are watching on TV is what they are telling you.
What have you seen on TV over the last 6 months that would suggest to you, as a viewer, watching this TV show, that it's Darby?
Nothing.
The word
That's
mountain,
why I'm
apparently.
like, have I missed something that everyone else?
Someone said he's defending the company. He's stuck an AEW flag in Everest. That's not real life. Well, no, sorry, that is real life. Yeah, that's not in the fucking story. Yeah. So that's got nothing to do with the story. Moxley's not on the TV going, oh, that fucking Darby Allin, he's just stuck the AEW flag in Everest. He doesn't give a fuck, because it's not in the universe. It doesn't count. It's not the fucking multiverse. It's not the fucking Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's AEW TV. There's nothing. What Darby Allin should do is come back and fight the Death Riders and lead into Blood and Guts, and he can be the one to finish them off. That's fine. Hangman beats Mox and then moves on to new challenges, and the title's back again.
Blood and Guts, team led by Darby Allin, fine. They can see off the Death Riders, put the nail in the coffin in a couple of months' time. I mean, I like the Death Riders storyline. What can I say? I think it can carry on without the world title. I think we can still have a bit of fun with it for a while. But yeah. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. So this Saturday, this is bigger than just Hangman winning the title. Like I think Mark alluded to this earlier. This is about literally turning the page, and you're starting a new era within AEW television. Because even still to this day, almost 2 fucking years ago, people will still bring up the very first All In and CM Punk and all that crap. I think that it took a lot of time. And listen, AEW they fucked up on themselves, last year showing the CM Punk footage, which I think was fucking stupid, in my opinion. It was stupid. But now I feel enough time has passed. I think they are starting to earn a lot of goodwill, and this is the time right now to turn the page and start a new chapter in AEW history. And how do you do that? You do that with putting the title back on AEW's main character since day one. It's always been about Hangman since day one in AEW. Now, listen, as far as Darby's involvement, like we're expecting like an end game type of finish to this match. Like I wouldn't mind at all if Darby's like the final one to kind of like hold off the Death Riders, like that final blow, keeping them away from interfering with Mox, and then he's the one that distracts Mox long enough where Hangman hits that final buckshot lariat to win. That's as much as Darby's involvement should be on Sunday. Yeah. I don't want him in the Casino Gauntlet match. If he's going to appear, it makes all the sense in the world to be one of the Avengers, like to fight off Mox and the Death Riders to win. Like he's a day one AEW guy himself, so he has every right, and it makes sense for him to get involved to fuck over Mox and the Death Riders. And like Mark said, you could continue the Death Riders storyline. It doesn't need the title, but like you said, Darby could be the one, and whichever group you want to associate with him, like whether it be Briscoe and a few other guys like who have had history with the Death Riders. Blood and guts, final nail in the coffin of the Death Riders, and you move on. The main event is all about moving on, taking the next step, and just finishing the biggest show in AEW history on the most positive note possible. Yeah. Right there, it's Hangman holding up that belt.
And just before we carry on there, Brett, you say, what happened, was it 2-3 years ago, whatever. This means I did that big long thread on about it, and I personally think it was excellent. But this means more than just Hangman winning the title in the story. This is like proving that he is the man to carry this company. They thought the better business decision was to move the title onto Punk, and it fucking blew up in the faces. Hangman was just getting into his groove there as the champion. He changed from this, struggling with confidence, overcome his adversities guy who'd won the title. He was starting to become a more confident challenger, a more dominant challenger, a more dominant champion. And that was taken when we were just getting juicy. It was just getting juicy. I wanted to see more of that character. And this to me is about them prove it. Well, about Hangman himself being like, I was the fucking man at that time. I was the right man. You should not have fucking moved this title, like outside of the storyline. And it is, because he should have been. They should have trusted him. They should have kept that title on him. He was the fucking man then, and he's the man now. And when he takes this title, it's going to be like a refresh. We're going to have all new storylines kicking off across the board, because we've got loads of other things that can kick off new storylines. Hopefully the women's stuff kicks off new storylines. Hopefully, the Swerve and Ospreay stuff kicks off new storylines for them as well to keep them busy. And like it's like a season finale. This. Ready to go straight into the next one, and I cannot fucking wait.
It's the ultimate reset button for AEW in a sense. Like I said,
2 years in the making.
2 years in the making. 2 years in the making. Ultimate reset button, and like you said, Hangman wins the belt. Look at what's in front of Hangman right now. Like I said, if Jay White comes back and wins the Casino Gauntlet, imagine that's the first feud. They got history right there. If MJF wins the Casino Gauntlet, he got history right there. You have his next 2 to 3 feuds already set up right there that could take you through the rest of 2025 right there. And then when we see what they got for next year, it's ready made right in front of them. And like I said, I mean, yes, was there a lot of outside shit that fucked with AEW's success? Yes, giving the belt to Punk, hindsight was fucking stuff. It cut Hangman's legs out from underneath him.
It made sense at the time. I'll give them that. On paper, it did make sense, but it was stupid.
Yeah, at the time it
with
did.
Hindsight, it was.
Hindsight, it was a horrible decision, and like you said, that's 3 years ago now, and then 2 years ago the very first All In, and Pepsi Man just fucking up the whole vibes with his shit behind stage. I finally feel that now, with this All In, basically almost 2 years to the point, we're moving on, we're turning the page, and now like this is the best AEW.
We've turned the page. It's now about rubber stamping, saying this is like everything that's happened now. Fuck it. Look what we're doing. Look what we can do. No one in wrestling, not just in North America, no one can come close to doing what we do. No. And the way you do that is Hangman winning the title. It's just such a no-brainer. Like, it would be pure. It would be booking malpractice. It would be the most abysmally dumb thing ever if this show doesn't finish with Hangman as world champion. Like, it would just, nothing else would make sense. In saying that, how would you feel if Hangman doesn't win the world title on Saturday?
I don't even want to think about it, honestly.
Horrible. I'm not going to the after post show party. Like, fuck that. I think I might just go straight to the hotel, honestly.
It's sorry, go on.
Can I just? It's a television show.
I don't care.
I'll be disappointed. I'll be like, oh, what a shame, Hangman should have won.
No.
Oh well.
No, it's
and
more
I'll go
than
to
that.
bed.
It's more than that to me. This is the most emotionally invested I've ever been. Mark knows this from like fucking how stressed we were in the Ospreay match. This is the most emotionally invested I've ever been in a story match.
Like...
The thing is, I know we say it's just a TV show, and you know what? It is just a TV show, but this is where it does become in between sport and entertainment.
It is, exactly.
Like, it is more than that. We do a fucking podcast each week. We spend an unnecessary amount of time on social media, debating with other people, doing things, interacting with people about it. It is a bit more than just a TV. Even though I say it sometimes, it's more than just a TV show. If it was just a TV show, we wouldn't be doing this right now. It is a bit more than that. Yes, Andy, it's not you winning the Premier League this year ahead of us. Losing the Champions League final, Arsenal losing on the final day of the season for the title hurts more. But as other things go, as my form of escapism, I am an Arsenal fan. I have no choice. Andy has no choice but to be a Liverpool. That is in our blood. We choose this. We've chosen AEW as the thing that we like, our escapism, our takeaway from reality. This is the biggest moment in AEW's history, a company that we have followed very passionately now for 6 years. This is their crowning moment. This is their redemption arc from CM Punk and what happened then to now. The show has been brilliant for a long time, but this is the moment that rubber stamps them back where they were before. It all depends, no matter how good the rest of this show is. If this main event doesn't land, the rest of the show will become a moot point.
It's like,
in my opinion,
it's why I wasn't that bothered when Swerve lost, because for me the storyline always pointed to Hangman, so I always had faith in the landing.
In hindsight, yes. If
it doesn't stick to the landing, I don't know. I'll be.
You look at how Double or Nothing ended back in May. Like just think of the positive vibes it was when Hangman won. Like I don't know if you guys remember. Like I was live tweeting the show. Like when Ospreay, I was like, Ospreay kicked out, Ospreay kicked out, like Hangman kicked. Like I have never been. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's been great matches that have exuded that like energy from me, but this was. I'm at an 8. That put me on a 10 or fucking 12 or 20, like from a scale of 1 to 10. Like I was literally I'm literally sitting right here. I'm like,
I had hair before that match, mate. Honestly,
me and Andy were on that. Me and Andy were on that page. Me and Andy were talking about it, and I think one of the reasons that Andy and I were so invested in that is because it wasn't just that. It wasn't just about Hangman beating Ospreay. We knew if Hangman wins this, we're getting what we want All In as well. I think that's how we kind of felt. We knew that was basically it was the semi-final, but it was kind of the final. It was kind of like Arsenal PSG in the Champions League this year. Whoever won that game had won the Champions League. They were going to dog walk Inter or Barcelona in the final, and that's kind of how it felt. If Hangman overcomes this hurdle, that's 90% of the journey complete. Then, because if he wins this, he's winning it All In.
It's a mad one because we were saying it's not just a TV show. It's in our blood, and it is. It's not like something that's in your blood. If I'm going to say, I'm getting confused because I'm so excited. It is just a TV show. It's not just a TV show, whatever. But the thing is that isn't just a TV show. Is the emotional connection that you're getting from.
I'll point out. I said it's a TV show. I didn't say it's just a TV show.
Okay, well, but still, it's like. I genuinely have even when I was a kid, I never got as emotionally invested in a character's arc as I have now.
I never cared about Peggy Mitchell the way I care about Hangman Adam Page.
No, exactly. Ken Barlow, obviously, because I didn't know he was dead or not dead, whatever.
He's not dead.
Okay, nice one. Sorry, Ken.
All right, you can insult Ken Barlow. He's not dead. This isn't a Terry Nutkins.
Is he not dead? I meant in real life. Is he still alive?
I don't know.
Sorry, Ken.
I'm going to make sure. I'm going to see if Ken Barlow's alive.
But yeah, and
it's Ken
like,
Barlow's alive.
Yeah, regardless, it's like there's nothing has hit like this. No, and do you know what the funniest thing is? Like, it's not. People say, "Oh, AEW is just good wrestling." Honestly, the next person that says there's no stories, I'm literally going to fucking stab through the fucking eyeballs with a fucking straw. Sorry.
He's sorry. I just want to say he is alive. But he was born in 1932, so by the time this goes to air, he might not be alive.
Jesus.
So.
Hey.
Holly, I hope your dad's okay. Granddad or whatever he is.
She's not related to Ken Barlow, is she?
Well, I don't know. But,
have you just made that up?
Yeah,
but I'm assuming that you know
something
about Holly Barlow.
A real name's probably not even Holly Barlow, I don't know.
You know, just a completely like separate note, real quick. Like, we talk about how 2025 is the best AEW product on television. I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you've seen on Twitter, but I've also seen on TikTok as well. There's new influencers and creators who are watching AEW for the first time and going back and watching a whole bunch of like earlier shows and pay-per-views. Like we see it on Twitter, a whole bunch of users doing the same. Like they're slowly gaining more traction, like to newer fans who are opening their eyes. Like they realize, like, yo, this is the best. This is possibly the best professional wrestling on the planet. You know, you're
right, Brett. There was a guy that went back watching some of MJS matches. I don't know who he was. He was apparently a big content creator, and he was on the Iron Man match, and he said, "How have I never seen this? This is possibly the best Iron Man match I've ever seen, and it's the best Iron Man match I've ever seen." And it's like they're getting there, and like people, the WWF are going to be miles ahead because of what they are and because of how long they've been going. It's you know, it's going to take a long time for them to even get close to them. Not that no one's ever disputed that. You know, it's just a case of it's a company that's 6 years old this year, and to be doing as good as they are right now, it's fucking incredible.
It's amazing.
I wouldn't be watching wrestling if it wasn't for it. Sorry.
No, go on.
No, that was it. I just said I wouldn't be watching wrestling now if it wasn't for AEW.
So 100%, yeah.
Yeah, I would probably still be watching the British Indies. They've always had my heart, but certainly wouldn't be watching American wrestling.
But they fired me up for the Indies more again.
But Lucy, you said before when you said it's just a TV show. Are there any other TV shows or in this that you would travel around the country for so often to watch?
I don't know any that record live.
Would you travel around the country for Mrs. Brown's Boys?
Oh, yeah, shut up. Jesus.
I knew that was coming.
You can't just ask a girl that. I certainly would not. What kind of girl do you think I am?
The only thing that comes close, I think, as Mark said there, for me, is football, because it's the only thing I travel around Europe for. I wouldn't travel around Europe for anything else.
Wrestling. I absolutely love it. I adore it. I live and breathe wrestling. However, if Jon Moxley retains the title, I will not end my life.
I'm definitely not going to go that far.
Yeah, I won't go that far. I'll probably just lose interest for a while.
I will still tune in. My argument is I will still tune in on the Wednesday. Whatever happens, even if Hangman wins, there'll be people going, I'm never watching it again. It was meant to be Derby. I will never watch it.
But
and then they'll be on again on Wednesday.
Yeah, they're dickheads anyway.
Yeah, and as a joke, obviously we all say, I'm never watching again. I've thrown a tantrum, my favourite loss, whatever. But yeah, I'll be disappointed, but I'll still tune in. I'll still enjoy it.
I would feel very differently about it. If genuinely, if Hangman doesn't win the title, which I mean, I'm pretty convinced he is, I would feel like, I imagine I'm going to have a phone call with Andy after anyway. One of drunken jubilance when we'll be virtually hugging, or one when we'll be discussing things in a more serious tone about how much we actually give a fuck about watching it for the foreseeable future, because we'll feel so let down they didn't stick the landing.
It's just if you've invested time multiple times a week into something for, how long's this story been going on that I've been so it's since the Swerve feud and everything that's happened since then with Hangman. If you invested that time at least twice a week, 3 times when Rampage was on, and pay-per-views on top, money and everything, and it's going perfectly, so and it's just and it makes no logical sense for anything but this. This is where everything has come to this point, and it's
not.
Yeah, I don't know. If it doesn't sound, I'm not going to become the fucking Unabomber or something if he doesn't win. But I'm probably, I'm probably.
Jesus Christ,
Well, I mean, I'm not going to fucking.
We've gone very close to the wind a few times tonight.
Jimmy Savile again, Andy.
Oh, no, God. that was my. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I will be disappointed. I'll complain a bit on the internet, but I'll tune in on Wednesday to see what happens.
It doesn't matter because it's not happening. So,
right. No, you've convinced me again. But I'll get on the internet and people will be telling me why it's going to be Derby, and I'll start to doubt.
But I just ask them why, and they'll just tell you the same thing because it's Derby's story. Yeah. Hangman stole it. How can Hangman steal a story? He's not fucking writing the show. It's just fucking weird. Like this is another thing I seen. There was another podcast. I know we're going a bit long now, but there's another podcast I've really like. Disagree with a lot of the views lately. The Trish and Sarah podcast, and they were talking in midweek there about how about how they think that this story isn't or whether it wasn't whether they think, but anyway, the discussion was whether is this the Death Riders story anymore, or is this just back to being Hangman and Swerve story? And I think it was a way of, because people said they didn't like the Death Riders, and a lot of people don't want to admit that it's actually got good. It did have a fucking really bad point in between, but it's got good. It's got really good. And I don't think you can... I don't think it's as simple as saying this is Hangman and Swerve. I don't think it is. This is Hangman's story. Swerve has his own story. Like, for me, and this is why I put this on the Discord, wrestling isn't just one fucking story. It's multiple stories that can all converge at the right time, and I think that's what's happening. Death Riders was its own thing. Hangman was on his own path, and they've kind of crossed along the way, which is why we're getting this. It's kind of like a final, isn't it, really, in a way? They have the struggles along the way, and then we get to this one big moment where these stories collide. Like, I don't think that it's one story overall. I think it's multiple stories, and Swerve's story will take a different fucking branch off now. It's just
Ospreay, I guess.
I just absolutely love everything they've done at the moment, and there's nothing I've really been upset with. I know we said this, but there's nothing I've actually not enjoyed since that overnight stat turn. Speaking of which, this is one thing I wanted to say. I know we got really long here, or did we? I can't remember. We press record, but did we discuss the trios?
Not in depth on what they're going to do with that, because so again, we're recording on a Monday, guys, so when you listen to this there may well have been 1 or 2 matches added to the card. We were discussing what they could be beforehand, and Andy, I think we're going to discuss the potential, the inevitable, I think, trios match, but what that exactly would entail.
What I would do with the trios is I would have Marina Shafir, but I would also have Willow. This is why I was saying about Willow in the thingy. I would have Willow help the ops, not necessarily be in the team, but come out to help the ops with Willow. And this is where I would have the Statlander thing, whatever they're going to do, whether Statlander is going to come out and attack Willow or look like she's going to attack Willow and instead beat the shit out of Marina Shafir, because they've teased that, haven't they, the last few weeks. So I would like to see something played out with that, at least on the pay-per-view, to give us something, because I want Willow and Statlander to have a direction, and I feel like they've just been floating around Woodless for a while everything has been concentrated on Mercedes and Toni.
So they won the obviously the Ops beat Death Riders at Beach Break, I think it was, wasn't it, on that outstanding Dynamite, the best part of 6-8 weeks ago. Do we think we're going to get a basic trios match? Do you think they might push the boat out and this could be the Stadium Stampede match?
I would
in
love
a stadium?
I would love that, because that way you could have your trios and Marina and Willow on them teams, and then you could have the stat, what's Stat doing here? Who's she going after, kind of thing, and actually helping
also
Willow.
The element of that this could lead into, if the Ops beat them so badly, they destroy the Death Riders. Moxie's kind of on his own later in the show potentially. So they lead into that. There's a lot of avenues they can take.
Yeah,
I think we need the Death Riders, because I think Hangman has to overcome them all with help.
People have to help him overcome them. I think people have to counteract the Death Riders. I agree with that. So, maybe they destroy the Ops so bad that they can't interfere, and that's why you end up having a Darby Allin potentially, another return or so, one Ospreay, and then eventually Swerve, who doesn't help him by helping him get the pin, just stops someone interfering, gives him that little look, that little nod. Hangman hits a buckshot.
He's doing a buckshot off Swerve.
I don't think they're getting that. Yeah. I hope not. I don't want it to. That's going into Yakuza territory, though.
Don't care.
It's like a Yakuza quick time event, though.
Yeah, and I want it.
I don't trios match.
I don't even think he gives him a look.
Match in the buy-in or on the main card.
He might. Do you know what? That could be the thing, Andy. You could be right there. That could be the thing. It could be that he helps him, like inadvertently stops someone else, but there's no eye contact, nothing. He just does it and walks away.
I think that's the best way to go, because they shouldn't be friends. Like they should be enemies forever, these guys. But just at the moment, they just don't. They don't care about each other at the moment. That's it. They've moved on.
The camera in front of Swerve, as Swerve walks away, like kind of emotionless, with Hangman in the ring looking at him, as Swerve doesn't look at him. Before he gets up, bang, see you later. Yeah, that's what's happening.
Yeah. Okay. The trios. What were you saying, Brett, on the pre-show?
That's a good shout.
I say you do it on the buy-in, so obviously enough time that, I say, you could have the Death Riders win the trios, but like I said, destroy the Ops to the point where it's obvious fact they are in no condition to help Hangman later on. So now you're going to be wondering throughout that show, damn, who's going to come out to help Hangman? Like we said,
I like that. You can have a DQ if you don't want to move the tags as well, the titles as well. That's a good one. Or they could leave Wheeler on his own, getting fucking destroyed, and just fuck off like cowards because they're more asked about the main event.
That as well.
Mox is make sure you're up for ready.
Claudio's just then? Let's get out of here. I hope Pac's back, because I fucking love Pac, but I think it's probably going to be Gabe Kidd. Which, if it is, it's not going to be on the pre-show. I don't think, so.
No.
I don't think it should be on the pre-show. I think it's too big to be on the. I think. Whatever happens, I think that should be on the. I want it to be a Stadium Stampede match, because I want to stay. We've only got one proper stipulation, haven't we? And that's we've got one gimmick match, and that's the we've got the Casino Gauntlets, I suppose. But there's one stipulation, and that's a Texas Death. I still think we should have one more.
Sorry, I've just had a thought. We need someone running away on after trying to interfere in the main event, and they're kind of trying to run away from whoever's chasing them, whether it's Ospreay, Swerve, whoever. And they get to the fucking tunnel, and Jeff Jarrett's standing there with a guitar. Fuck yes.
Oh, God. Wheeler's got to take that shot then.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Hook's the third man then, just to.
I think that's coming, isn't it? It seems to be the case. I mean, they've got to do something interesting with Hook. I don't like that, criticising but I just feel like his character's gone nowhere for a long time now. They need to do something to change it up a bit. I think Hook as a heel could be great as well because he doesn't need to talk.
Yeah, I agree.
He could just go out and demolish people. If he's a heel,
His mannerisms are very heelish. That can work as a good heel in 2025.
Yeah,
Give that a shot. See what happens.
And if he's a heel, him just suplexing the fuck out of everyone will actually work a lot better than as a face. And he could swat his dad as well just to get,
So we're going with
Speaking of which,
13 returns,
Anthony
9
Bones.
heel turns, 4 title changes.
Are we having an open challenge on this card?
Boom.
Max Caster.
Boom. That'll be on the pre-show, won't it, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any returns or
And that'll be... Pardon?
any returns or I still think it should eventually be Bones and Max Caster should be.
I think it should be a local enhancement talent, and they should.
Get Ben Bishop on the card.
It'll be
John
someone.
Cruz.
If there is an open challenge, it'll be something significant, like a novelty legend, someone returning that they're happy to put on the pre-show. I think that'll happen on. It could even be Big Boom AJ comes out and beats him.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
That'd be quite fun. Maybe.
Tony Schiavone gets up and just twats him. That's not right. Aubrey Edwards is in the ring announcing it. She just turns around, clocks him with the microphone. Job done.
There's so many possibilities. I would hate to be the person booking this because there's so many things you would want to fit in. Like we
Max
don't.
Caster's going to beat the shit out of himself one week.
Like we don't know if Orange Cassidy is fit. What if he is and he does turn? Or what if he isn't? If he is and he comes, back on. What if Darby's on the fucking Death Riders side when he comes back? Because everyone seems to fucking have turned on Darby a bit on the fan base because he's been away for so long and because they've been fed this story.
You can't do a big heel turn for someone to join the Death Riders.
Yeah, that's
then
the thing.
Hangman still beats
It's too
Moxley.
late
You
for
can't do it. They
It's
look
too late for
stupid
that.
then.
Maybe they do that next week then.
We've been booking that since Full Gear.
I know.
Well said. Every special. It hadn't happened by Revolution. It should have happened by now.
Dude.
They've stuck to their guns. They stay with who they are. Gave kids an honorary member when it suits them. That suffices now.
Maybe they can do it in a week or two then, and to give the Death Riders a little bit of a boost if they're not finishing him off anytime soon.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot more sense.
And
yeah.
then
they need to do something. Yeah.
And you can have Hangman Moxley too, in a normal match, and have Hangman win that, and that's it. Then Mox is off to fucking do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Come back as Stone Cold John
Covered.
Moxley again.
I have never looked forward to a wrestling show as much as I'm looking forward to this.
The same.
Never.
Ever.
Not that I'm not going to.
Sorry if I hogged large periods of the Hangman Moxley discussion. I just got very, very passionate.
You're very passionate about it.
I know-
Plus,
I
you're
know how
excited-
much
you're
it
still
means to you,
overstimulated from
Andrew.
the Outrunners. Yeah, this is a big deal for you, Andy. I'm excited too. I think we're all
Brett,
really looking
I'm glad
forward
you've
to
come
it.
round to the light side now, from the dark side.
You've talked
Brett
me into
Came around
very
to the
jealous.
correct side.
Yes.
Yeah,
very
you,
fucking
Brett.
jealous.
I'm not happy for you, not even a little bit.
Yeah, I honestly, every time you tell us about these events as well, Brett, I fucking hate you for 10 seconds.
Imagine I'm Okada
Only
right
lasts for
now.
10 seconds.
Hate's a strong word. I'm going to say thoroughly detest.
Violently
Then,
dislike.
if you feel
Despise the existence of.
if you feel that
Eye-stabbingly enraged.
if you feel that way
Stupidly
now,
loathe.
if you feel that way now, then after Thursday you might not want to follow me on Twitter.
Well,
So
guys,
we're hiring for a replacement for Brett. Send a video.
So,
Yeah.
All right.
but before we finish, then, if there's going to be one return in this Death Riders story that isn't Darby Allin, who do we think?
Brett Nicholson.
I think that's the one, isn't it? Yeah.
He was fucking choked to
Yeah.
death on pay-per-view, for fuck's sake, man. Bryan Danielson makes a sense. Bryan Danielson should be involved with this. That's my opinion. Bryan Danielson, the best wrestler of all time, Bryan Danielson.
Eddie Kingston.
Bryan Danielson.
I think so. Yeah.
Bryan Danielson.
Eddie Kingston.
Hang on.
Oh,
Now,
Eddie. If Eddie's, oh god, this is
If Eddie's
ridiculous.
fit, yeah, Eddie has to be there. Eddie should be here. He deserves to be there. Eddie should be around if he's fit.
If Gabe Kidd is there interfering at the end, I think
Gabe and
Kingston,
Claudio. Eddie won't be able to
Kingston will
resist.
not be far.
Yeah. I'm
You,
on Eddie.
Andy?
It's Bryan Danielson, isn't it? I think it is.
Could be both.
Oh, fuck yeah.
The biggest show of the year. We get Bryan Danielson. He's coming back. He's going to wrestle again.
Sting.
Look, Tony Storm ends the
Sting.
run. Hangman wins the world title.
Yes.
Fletcher beats Adam Cole, one of the most brutal squashes in AEW history. You want all these big moments, all these returns, all these things. Bryan Danielson, the greatest wrestler of all time, returns to embark on his final run.
Sting returns with his son back from Everest, and off they go to set up a feud with the Death Riders. Sting obviously won't feud, he'll just help him on that one match.
Serpentico
returns as
Oh,
sexy
for fuck's
dragon.
sake.
As the sexy dragon. And,
Andy, how easy is it to mute the word Brandon Cutler when it's mentioned on this podcast?
That's fairly easy.
will-
We could try that, actually. That's a
I'll
good one.
write it on my face.
We could bleep it
Well,
out.
every time it's said, it's dubbed over with Serpentico.
Yes. Oh my god, that's
I
amazing.
told you never to say his name.
Can we do AI
Serpentico.
fucking thingy on this?
Oh God, Lucy,
On that
I will find Serpentico at Starcast, and
Do it.
I will find him, and
Ask him
I'll
for
say,
John
hey, you know
Cruise's
my good
phone
friend
number.
Lucy, like, send a nice video for you.
It's
Don't you dare.
it's emotional.
Swear to God, I will replace you with Alyssa.
It's
I will replace you with this stuffed squirrel.
this is going to be the most emotional week in a very long time. So
Fuck yeah.
we've got
Come
got
on.
this.
Big one.
Let's do this.
Come on, professional wrestling.
Thank you for listening,
yeah.
everybody.
We believe in you, Tony.
Sorry if I've rambled a bit, but very emotional.
Everyone get in the comments and compliment my 80s do.
We've gone
R.I.P.
well long.
Ken Barlow.
Do we want to whiz through the questions? We'll just go through them
Comment.
very quick. One word answers.
All right.
Yeah, still come.
Sarah,
Okay, one word
Quick
answer.
fire.
Sarah, who should kick out of the one-winged angel? Okada this year, Ospreay next year, or neither? Neither.
No.
Neither.
Aaron,
Keep
when,
something sacred.
Aaron, when should Ospreay turn heel? Within the next few months.
Not for me. He's faithful all the way around to All In to win the title next year.
Yep.
Heel now, then redemption all in
Don't
next
want
year.
him to turn. I don't. He's too big a person to turn within the space of a year twice.
Amplified Smark. On Collision, the Death Riders challenge the opposite trio titles. If they won, is there a strong chance of Mox retaining the title? No.
No.
No for everyone. Slug.
No.
When Toni stormed us in next death match, does she bring out a belt and a tangerine to bring her sexual innuendos to its climax?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm confused, but yes.
Rich, on a scale of 1 to
Probably sounds
10,
like a tangerine.
1 being a wet fart and 10 being losing your mind, how excited for you for All In? 11.
15.
86.
9,004,012.3.
Cull 2K, I'll be most disappointed if, and you can't say Hangman losing, if Jericho doesn't return. And I don't get to it,
I
Judas.
can't say Hangman loses.
Yeah, you can't say that.
Can't
If,
say
if
that.
Moxley
If
wins.
Tony loses.
If the women's gauntlet goes under 13 minutes again.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it. The rest were multiple questions. Sorry, guys, we didn't have time. And I think that's a goodbye, is it, guys?
Yep.
Fantastic. That is good shit. We'll see you next week for the
Goodbye.
review. Fucking come on.
See you.
After all in.
Night.
See you on the other side.